NFL Films presents the game's greatest scorers. He was born Thomas Edward Brady Jr., and he grew to rule a New England dynasty. 3 Super Bowl rings, twice Super Bowl MVP, and a playoff resume akin to a first-class ticket to Canton, Ohio. However, his prowess on the gridiron gives way only to his prowess in the bedroom. For late in the 2006 season, Tom Brady achieved the greatest back-to-back scoring feat in the modern era. First, he impregnated sultry Hollywood starlet Bridget Moynihan. Then, against all odds, this heroic field general bedded and inseminated lingerie supermodel Gisele Bündchen. And so, in honor of his triumphs between the hash marks and between the sheets, we bequeath the laurels and regale among the game's greatest scorers. Number 12, Tom Brady.
Well, you might say he's a mighty impotent guy, wouldn't you? A potent guy. Or something like that. Or you might just forget about it. You might just be jealous, which I think is really what it's all about. 10:02 at 560 WQM. So we find out through the grapevine this morning that Robert Grieper told Kimba Beaucamper not once, not twice, but 3 times. This is the rumor. Well, almost 3 times that I said the C word on the air on Friday, and we had that big, or on Thursday, I guess, whatever day it was. Because it didn't, no matter what day you pick, it didn't happen anyway. Now, why would somebody do that unless they were looking to be a Schmidt disturber, you know what I'm saying, Robert? Unless they were a real weasel, a little piece of crap, which is why he's still there. I've been saying that for how many years now?
Maybe he just knew that you'd like the material.
Yeah, right.
He's thinking about you.
Drop dead, Robert. Drop dead, soon. Anyway, look at this. New Gallup survey finds that 41% of Americans believe that creationism, the idea that God created human beings pretty much in their present form at one time within the last 10,000 years, is true. 41% of Americans believe that creationism is true. Meanwhile, another 24% believe the answer lies somewhere in the middle of the 2 theories. Wait a minute. I skipped out. 28% believe evolution, the idea that human beings developed over millions of years from less advanced forms of life, like amoebas, things like that, is true. Meanwhile, 24% believe the answer lies somewhere between the 2 theories. Between God, between a rock and a hard place.
In other words, God created the amoebas.
Rock solid.
What?
God created the amoebas.
Among Democrats, 57% believe in evolution, while 40% don't. Among Republicans, 30%...
About 30, man.
...believe in evolution, and 68% do not. Oh, brother. Neanderthal Republicans. It is so sad, so depressing, so, Getchkis is what we're talking about. Religious nuts. Well, good luck to you, okay? I bet you even a squirrel don't like religious nuts.
Cute.
How about Brady Quinn? You think he's got religious nuts? I'd pray.
Are you going to check?
I love eating nuts.
Get on my knees for the Lord. Before we get into all the poll stuff, first this thing, which yesterday George was giving me a bunch of crap, and now today because he gets a fax from some chick in Baltimore.
That's right
away.
Chicken Baltimore. That's my favorite dish.
Lori in Baltimore.
I tried to explain it on the air. I didn't say anything different that I didn't say on the air.
Not true.
The rest of us who aren't from New York, state or city, don't know, don't care, don't keep track of what's from what.
That isn't what you said at all.
All right.
You said that, I'm not going to repeat the whole thing or rehash it, because like every other argument with you always win anyhow.
That's
so what difference does it make?
And you always make it up, so.
Yeah.
Change what everybody said, reverse.
Let me ask you something. When's the last time you were in upstate New York?
Again. Upstate New York? Never.
Yeah.
Never. See, you're not contradicting what I said.
That's like asking you, when's the last time you had gay sex?
Let me say it again. I don't know
you're an expert on both of those topics, okay? Gay sex and upstate New York.
I'm not
How about gay sex in upstate New York?
I'm an expert on what makes someone straight. How's that? You can be the expert on faggots.
I know what makes somebody straight, but that's
me
another
too.
story. Okay.
Not being gay.
Can I go on to this thing from Lori in Baltimore without going through this whole song and a dance? You are impossible.
Right.
No wonder your wife despises you and has a voodoo doll.
Mm-hmm.
Dear George, writes Lori. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. On the floor. There was my cable box. Wow. Well, I hit this thing too hard. The cable box just went on the floor. Well, let me go get it. Okay. That was bad.
Oh, it was good. God's punishing you for changing what people say when you have an argument with them. Every time Neil loses an argument with somebody, he changes what the other person said all the way around.
We can just go to the tape.
degrees. Boy, I chose the wrong filler music, obviously. It's taking forever to get going.
Yeah, it's a fill-in.
Come on, Indians. Come on, Andean Indians. There you are.
Robert Creeper too late to fill in.
Too late. Are you
Okay,
back?
there it is. Now, here's Lori's facts. She says, Dear George, I grew up in upstate New York near Auburn. Oh, how sad. And lived in Rochester for 7 years. Even, well, that's a little better. Well, Rochester used to be okay, once upon a time in America. I'm 52 years old, Lori says, and I've never seen nor heard of an egg cream. New York City is like a whole other country when you live upstate. That's right, Lori. Sorry, man. Got to side with Uncle Neil on this one. Love, Lori in Baltimore. She sure gets around. From Auburn to Rochester to Baltimore. She hits all the high spots. And you're right, Lori. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Got to side with Uncle Neil. Well,
right.
That's because I lived a good chunk of my life there for crying out loud. I ought to know a little bit something about it.
Yeah, I didn't say I knew more than you or anything. I said
whatever. You don't know squat about upstate New York.
No,
you
I
would
don't.
know an egg cream if they came in there and
I
poured one on
never
your
said
head.
I did, and I didn't say they came from upstate New York.
And I admit I never had an egg cream in my life because I'm not a New York person. When you talk about New York person, it means New York City, okay?
Yeah.
Can't we all just get along?
Whatever.
Because people will say, oh, well, you're from New York, if you tell me you're from Rochester. No, I'm not from New York. I'm from Rochester, New York, okay? If you say you're from New York, it means the city, okay? I'm just explaining to you how it works. That's
I'm writing it down.
Not something to get all bent out of shape about or argue about or get stressed about.
I'm not.
Oh, I guess I better go back to whatever. City Confidential. I do like that show, though. Now, how do I get back on my channels again? Oh, here we go. Boy, this box. I think I broke the box.
Uh-oh. I've done that before.
What? Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm serious. What? Oh, there it is. Wow, it's Panic City. It's Jack's big music show there with the kids. Anyway, here's an article you'll like because, maybe, I don't know if you'll like it or you won't like it. No, I guess it's pseudo-intellectual at the end.
Oh.
They just don't want to rip, for whatever reason,
they're all getting
David
paid
Chase.
off. Everyone on TV is like an apologist for this.
This is from the Boston Herald. Fade to blah. Frustrated fans wax Sopranos' abrupt ending. I mean, what is everybody talking about? Are they talking about Paris Hilton? Are they talking about the ending of The Sopranos? Are they talking about the WWE last night, which Brandon breathlessly messages me this morning? They blew up, at least they staged the blowing up the wrestling guy. What's his name?
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. Do you watch that crap, too? I mean,
no. We went over that before the show, remember?
I thought Vince McMahon was a quarterback.
That was Jim McMahon.
Oh, Jim McMahon, that's right, for the Bears and for wherever else he played. Yeah,
you're getting senile.
With the funny shades. Yeah, I am getting senile. Just keep it up, Mr. Hotshot. You'll see if I go to bat for your ass when it comes time for that big raise you got in the wings. Pity the poor people without TiVo, it says. Sunday night series finale of HBO's The Sopranos already has been dissected and discussed more than the Zapruder tape, inspiring conspiracy theorists to wonder if Tony Soprano is dead or alive or coming back in a major motion picture. David Chase, by the way, says there ain't going to be no Sopranos movie. That's what he says.
Yeah, who cares at this point?
I don't. It's like, it's like MASH the movie. I didn't watch the TV show, so why would I go watch the movie? Same thing.
Because the movie was first?
The movie was first before the TV series?
Oh, yeah, the TV series was based on the movie.
Oh, well, I don't really care. Didn't watch either one. In fact, the HBO website took a beating Sunday night when fans fled to the online chat room after the final episode ended. Oh, they went to the chat room, man, and they were chatting up a storm.
That's right.
We were hit with about 10 times the volume that the site normally gets and crashed, said Jeff Cusson. I bet there are a lot of people cussing. Mm-hmm. Vice President of Corporate Affairs for HBO, we have a very devoted fan base, he said. By the way, this guy with Tony Soprano in the picture they have here from the show, I don't know which character this is, but it looks like his hair looks as fake as Howdy. He's got Howdy Doody hair. He's got the worst piece since Mo. We have a very devoted fan base, he said, and a skeptical one, too. The final episode of the 7-season series cut to black as Tony and his family sat in a diner eating onion rings. Well, you know something? I do like onion rings.
Me too.
And I ate yesterday like a cow. I ate and I ate and I ate and I went to Taco Bell and I had ice cream bars and I had macaroni and cheese, Stouffer's, and
Thanks, Brandon.
Don't do it again, Brandon. He's not even in the will. He's trying to kill me. The ending was so abrupt, many viewers thought their cable went out. After weeks of speculation about how the mob family saga would close, will Tony be assassinated, arrested, go into witness protection, the open-ended ending has already spawned plenty of theories about what was really going on. Tony is dead, and the final blackout shows his perspective after he was shot in the back of the head by the guy in the members-only jacket. The diner was filled with characters Tony hurt in earlier episodes, literally surrounded him with his sins. Writer David Chase intentionally left the ending inconclusive, either to leave room for a movie or to boost sales of the DVD, which is sure to have alternate endings. Ah, there we go. Boost sales of the DVD.
Yeah.
Screw up the viewers who already paid to watch HBO, by the way.
Right.
The most horrible episode ever, and you think it was a good wake-up, wrote Nikita550R on HBO Soprano Community Board. Danny, concurred. Chase sold out, but he kept his options open. Was economically correct. In 4 years from now, somebody goes bankrupt. He's sitting on $50 million right here. He wouldn't have that if Tony was killed. But other viewers thought the final episode was perfect.
Right.
I think Chase resists the idea that life is neat and symmetrical, said Sarah Bunting, co-editor of TelevisionWithoutPity.com. The message running through The Sopranos is that people don't change, and I don't think anyone who's watched the show should be feeling ripped off by this, Sarah said. Lee Halazzi, professor of pop culture at Boston University, said the series finale was an example of smart storytelling. She said, we are used to happy endings or sad endings. This breaks tradition, which is what makes it so great, and why we're talking about it today.
I'm used to an ending.
Yeah, I was just going to say, happy endings or sad endings. How about just a plain old ending?
Right.
Yeah. Very sad. Well, there you go. That's the deal. I thought I'd throw that in there for you since you're all still worked up about that, and probably will be for days and weeks to come.
Till I meet him and kick him square in the nuts.
I bet you Boca Brian's package is down there now because the phone is jangling off the hook. It's Tuesday. Wouldn't surprise me the least bit.
All right.
If there's a FedEx down there. 12 minutes after 10 at 560 WQM. It's Tuesday, June number dose, baby. Take a big dose of whatever you're taking. Mad Dog at 2, Power Hour with Hank and the Mad Dog 4 to 5. Hank Solo 5 to 6:30. Marlins on deck at 6:30. The Marlins and the Injuns at 7:05. And boy, the Marlins would sure love to be
Injun killer
tonight, whatever that means. And then game night with Eddie K after the game.
Eating it. God? Hey, Survivor fans, the next great summer adventure is on CBS Thursday. Join the wildest crew to ever set sail.
Big, fat, lesbian, loud Rosie attacks innocent, pure Christian Elizabeth.
High stakes, high adventure on the high seas.
And I'm not doing it. But you don't have to. Let me do it.
A new series guaranteed to kick booty. CBS Thursday. Watch your back.
Son of a bitch!
Watch your language now. 10:17 at 560 WQM. Happy Tuesday to you. Boy, I'll tell you, that vacation is getting real. You can smell it.
Smells something.
Smells like that raunchy food in Amsterdam is what it smells like to me. But anyway, here's the poll from yesterday. How many votes did we get? 1380. That's pretty weak, and it's a weak poll anyway. Hey, Charlie B. sent in a couple of polls today. I must concur with you. They're getting weaker and weaker. You know, I think, I hope not. Because for all of our sakes, I hope that he has, only scratched the surface. But, I mean, some of the stuff he's sending in now, I wouldn't wish on Heinrich Himmler. I mean, Charlie, don't take it the wrong way now. And don't start sending me any more emails. Josh Cordes ain't working this week. So just calm down. When Fidel finally dies, I'm not Cuban, I couldn't care less. 889, 64.4%. Overwhelming. I'll drink a Cuban cafecito or eat a Cuban sandwich, 117. To celebrate, I guess. I'm Cuban and I couldn't care less, 74. I'll start packing for a visit to Cuba, 72. I'll be so grief-stricken, how will I ever go on, 51. It'll be really...
Increíble.
I'll light a Cuban cigar, 48, and stick it where the moon don't shine. I'll set a dumpster or some tires on fire, 34. Hell, I'll put the house up for sale and move to Cuba, 22. Adios, arrivederci. I'll play a Celia Cruz CD, 17. I'll stop my car in the middle of a bridge, 17. I'll join a street procession and blow my horn constantly. 15. I'll fire a gun in the air. 12. I'll burn an effigy of Fidel. 6. Wouldn't it be something if Fidel died on the 4th of July? Man, in Hialeah, there'd be lots of celebrating. And I'll fly a Cuban flag. Only 6. Solamente 6. Not too good on the Cuban flag. Okay, let's take a look at today's poll. Since we're poll intensive at the beginning of the show, now we got that other Soprano stuff out of the way, we can do it. And, of course, the... chick from Baltimore who used to live in Rochester, who straightened George's ass out in upstate New York versus New York City. There's no connection. It's like two different worlds.
I never said there was. I said
you don't have to get all defensive about it. I'm just seconding that emotion.
I'm getting defensive. That's how you change everyone's argument around when,
Here's the poll. Could you have a relationship with a girl if she had sex with you on the first date? Yes, what's wrong with that? 584, 73.7%. Exactly. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I don't see what the big deal is with that, except that Josh Cordes, of course, got all...
That's what I voted.
What?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, right. Josh is the one that got everybody whipped up about that. I think either you were out sick that day.
I was on vacation.
Yeah,
sick something, right.
You got everybody, oh, no, I wouldn't want to, It's not the kind of girl you want to bring home to Mom. Well, unless Mom is a dyke, why the hell do you want to bring her home for Mom anyway, Just mind your own business, Mama Sita. Hell yeah, she'd be in charge. She'd be a change of pace for my blow-up doll, 87. Cute. No, that makes her a slut, 68. That's what Josh was saying. That makes her a slut. That's 8.4%. I'm a girl who likes sex on the first date, 31. And I'm a girl who won't date a guy who wants sex on the first date, 27. So we got 7.1% of the audience are female there. Now, that's not too bad. That's a shock out of 801. So you got your 1,000 pretty damn sure, I think, even though it's a very El Crapito poll, trust me. So there you go. The overwhelming majority, either, just to give up the blow-up doll or just because that's what they wanted in the first place anyway. Why do you take somebody out on a date?
Because you want to buy them
for a
food.
little companionship, you want to spend a lot of money buying them food and
that's right.
movie tickets and crap like that.
Sure, because you got too much money.
Shopping to buy them a bunch of clothing and jewelry and stuff, or because you want some ass. Is that what it's all about? Let me ask you that question. Come on. Let's get serious, people. Michael Moore is pissed off, and rightfully so. He looked in the mirror this morning. I'd be pissed off, too, if I looked that bad. Although I don't look good. Especially after yesterday, I don't look good at all. Brandon, God, did I eat. Oh, you know what? I had my first gordita yesterday.
Oh, how was that? I don't know if I guess I had a gordita. A long time ago.
Did you have one?
I think so.
I mean, it's got way too much carbs. That's part of the problem there.
A little fat. I guess that's why they call them that.
I don't care about the fat.
No.
Is that what that means, gordita?
Yeah, it means fat.
I see. Like Rosie O'Donnell will be a...
There's no Ita about her.
At any rate, I had a burrito supreme with no beans, and I had a gordita. And it was pretty damn good. In fact, I could go back right now and get some more, but I'm not going to do it, though. I got today, tomorrow, and let's see. And the third. What's today? Tuesday already? All right, like I said. Boy, that vacation's getting real close. Eat your hearts out. Firebrand director Fat Michael Moore yesterday accused the U.S. government of harassment over an investigation into a trip he made to Cuba earlier this year for his latest film. How unusual that the U.S. government would harass somebody who tends to be anti-U.S. government. At least the present government. The U.S. Treasury is probing whether Moore broke a 45-year-old U.S. trade embargo on Cuba by taking a group of rescue workers from the 9/11 attacks to the island for medical treatment during the filming of Sicko. This is a form of harassment, he said, adding, "We're going to fight this, and we're going to be very aggressive to find out who's behind this." Good. Kick their ass, Mike. In a letter to the U.S. Treasury on Monday, Moore's lawyer David Boies said his client had been unfairly discriminated against and demanded an explanation. Just like Tom Hagen in The Godfather. Remember that?
Right.
Now, what's that under? I know it's in here somewhere. Where he says we demand an apology. Oh, there it is.
This committee owes an apology, Senator.
Yeah, that's what he said.
This committee owes an apology, Senator.
A little bit chopped off there in the beginning of it. Well, listen, nothing's perfect. That disc is down there, by the way, and if you wanted to take a segment or something, I'd go down and get it, but we'll wait.
We'll wait. Take a segment. I could take a segment talking about the freaking Sopranos.
4 minutes. All you would do is play some stupid-ass music. You wouldn't make
No,
sounds
rip
with your
David
mouth.
Chase and ass. Trust me, I'll do that for an hour.
I'm concerned that Mr. Moore has been selected for discriminatory treatment by your orifice, Boies said in the letter. He further requested Treasury reveal who took the decision to ask Moore to explain his trip. Damn it. This is an attempt by the government to discriminate against a journalist based on the content of Michael Moore's journalistic work, he told reporters in New York. Moore, who won an Oscar for the 2002 film Bowling for Columbine, was last month asked to explain the purpose of the trip and give details including departure dates and names and addresses of those who went. The group of rescue workers were suffering from medical conditions believed to be connected to their jobs, clearing debris from the site of the World Trade Center in New York in the aftermath of 9/11. Sicko, which looks at the state of U.S. healthcare system, is due out in general release a week from Friday. Or is it this Friday? Is it Friday the 15th? Might be this Friday. Well, whenever. I won't be here anyway. Oh, here's another poll suggestion from somebody that's not Charlie B. And look at that. Who is most overpaid?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cute.
One.
Neil, pro jocks, actors, big company CEOs, rock stars, lawyers, realtors, or stockbrokers. That's pretty good. That might be a good one for mañana.
Sure.
And then we got that which dad, the one Charlie B. will pull that I have left over that's still any good. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlie, just a joke. about which dad would you prefer as you remember? Before Mother's Day, we did the one about mothers, right around Mother's Day time. And since we got Father's Day coming up on Sunday, now what about Chris? Your father still alive?
Yes.
Good guy or a jackass?
No, good guy.
No, because George's father is dead.
No, he isn't.
My father's dead. George, your father isn't dead?
No, he's a deadbeat, but he's not dead.
Oh. In other words, you wish he was dead.
Sure, why not? I'm going to dig up his skull and turn him into a urinal
crappy
cake.
Parents.
Hey, builds character, don't it?
Yeah. Now that you mention it. Now. 26 past 10 at 560. Can you say nag? Can you say kvetch? Can you say nudge?
Yeah! What's up, y'all? This your boy G Mike. See, I usually do songs with like hooks and concepts and shit, right? But that, man, I'm trying to go platinum. So I'm about to rock this. Check this out, y'all. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. Not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. R-E-A-D-A-B-O, okay. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Body needs water, so drink that. Body needs water, so drink that. Your body needs water, so drink that. Your body needs water, so drink that. Buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Where deodorant, 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 where deodorant. Soft beach stick, it's not expensive. It's soft beach stick, it's not expensive. It's soft beach stick, it's not expensive. It's soft beach stick, it's not expensive. Read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, read a book, read a book, read 'em up. Book, R-E-A-D-A-B-O.
10:33, 27 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Yeah, I should go down and get that disc, I just have that feeling. I don't know.
Feel it?
I just have the feeling out because it's Tuesday already, and I've got the full show tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'm only on till 1 o'clock. So, I want to maximize the, especially since they're paying him those big bucks.
No, take a break. I'll play a bit after it. If you're not back, then I'll rip David Chase. No big deal.
How long are you going to carry that grudge?
Until I see him and kick him in the nuts.
Oh, well, maybe he doesn't have any.
He won't when I'm done.
Maybe he's an old smoothie.
I doubt it.
Nuremberg prosecutor says Guantanamo trial's unfair. Well, sure could have fooled me. The U.S. war crimes tribunals at Guantanamo have betrayed the principles of fairness that made the Nazi war crimes trials at Nuremberg a judicial landmark. One of the U.S. Nuremberg prosecutors said yesterday, well, he must be older than hell. I think Robert Jackson, who's the architect of Nuremberg, would turn over in his grave if he knew what was going on at Guantanamo. Nuremberg prosecutor Henry King, Jr. told Reuters in a telephone interview. What do you think about that whole junior thing? You know, there's just an awful lot of juniors. Is that do parents who can't come up with a creative name their kids Junior?
I guess. It's an ego thing, I imagine.
Is that what it is? Like Joe Marsh Jr.?
Right.
And Ray Fisher Jr.? And Don Irvine Jr.?
Right.
It violates the Nuremberg principles, what they're doing, as well as the spirit of the Geneva Conventions in 1949, he said. King, he is old. He's 88. Boy, that's plenty old. 88. But you know something? I'll be 88 in 24 years. I think 98 sounds like a better number to me. King, 88, served under Jackson, the U.S. Supreme Court Justice, who was the chief prosecutor at the trials created by the Allied powers to try Nazi military and political leaders after WW2 in Nuremberg, Germany. The concept of a fair trial is part of our tradition, our heritage, King said from Ohio, where he lives. That's what made Nuremberg so immortal. Fairness, a presumption of innocence, adequate defense counsel, opportunities to see the documents that they're being tried with. King, who interrogated Nuremberg defendant Albert Speer, was incredulous that the Guantanamo rules left open the possibility of using evidence obtained through coercion. Oh, there's that phone again. He better not be calling for that package again. It's starting to get annoying now.
Wow.
To torture people and then you can bring evidence you obtained into court, ? Hearsay evidence is allowed, ? Some evidence is available to the prosecution and not to the defendants. This is the type of justice that Jackson didn't dream of, King said. He said the Guantanamo prisoners should be tried in the court-martial system or the U.S. federal courts under fair rules that leave open the possibility of acquittal. 3 Nuremberg defendants were acquitted, King noted. The Bush administration has said it needs to hold a special tribunals at Gitmo in order to protect national security. Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the first version of the Guantanamo trials as illegal. The 2006 Military Commissions Act, which set revised rules for trying suspected terrorists at the U.S. Naval Base at Gitmo, sort of turns its back on Nuremberg, King said. I don't think it's a credit to us to have this thing. The U.S. has always stood for fairness. That's the important thing. We were the ones who started war crimes tribunals, and we're the architects. I don't think we should turn our back on that architecture, he be saying. And he ought to know he's 88 freaking years old, man. He's been around. He's seen. His eyes have seen the coming of the glory of the Lord. Whatever that means. Well, what song is that? The Battle Hymn of the Republic?
That's it.
Mine eyes have seen the coming. Is that it?
That's it.
Glory do I know my crap or what, man? I'll tell you something. One thing about me, say what you want, but I'm the expert. I know my crap. No matter what kind of crap you're talking about. Good crap, bad crap. Robert Grieper crap. Yeah, during the break, I'm going to see who the hell that was on the phone again this last time, and I'm going to garrote somebody. It probably was David Chase. You're probably pissing him off. Yeah, he's probably got the number from, he probably got it from Joe Bell.
He gives it to everybody.
Yeah. He's probably writing it on tea room walls now. You know that song by Dion, written on the subway walls? That's my phone number, thanks to Jolly Joe Bell. Got some nerve giving my number to Kimba Bokember. You know, I was thinking, speaking of jocks, you know, with this whole macho thing that most of them are into and the whole mentality of the jockocracy, this macho thing. I wonder if they're like still using soap for the body wash.
Soap on a rope, I heard.
Yeah, you don't want to drop it. You want to keep a firm grip at all times. The soap, too. Written on the subway walls. There's Dion just when we asked for it. Miracle. Oops. That's a good song. That's great. Yo Frankie, man, it's a great album. Everybody go out and buy it. So Dion can buy a new cap.
Yank it, baby!
You on Fox, from the creators of Dancing with the Stars.
It's Rehab with the Stars, starring Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay reportedly is checked into rehab at Promises in Malibu this morning where she might have a house account.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton, late this morning, she was officially charged with drunk driving.
And Britney Spears.
Did Britney Spears check into rehab?
I can understand all these people thinking it was great. But for me, it was too raunchy.
Tonight, one star is out the door.
Lindsay was totally passed out.
Rehab with the Stars.
Packed with more of the celebrity shame we need to make us feel better about ourselves.
Irresistible. Just checked her into rehab. They're not exactly going to let me check her out and take her to a bar.
Tonight on Fox.
Okay, 10:43 at 560 WQM. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm going to let you do your ranting. And then when I come back, I got the story about man claims Paris Hilton's got the herpes in the wherever she's got it. Anyway, you can write about David Chase because I decided I'm going to go downstairs. I'm all dressed. Huh?
All right.
I'm all dressed up and I got someplace to go downstairs. And it'll be really remarkable to you see how fast I'll come back.
All right.
So here's George.
Take off, Of course, it would have made more sense to do it the way that I said before, but that's all right. I got lots of material about David freaking Chase. See, wouldn't it have made more sense, Chris, if he'd have taken that break and then we could have played a bit and then I would have had to rant for about much less time. So anyway, all these sueds, apologists, I don't know. See, if I could get in on that, whatever it is, the graft train, the gravy train, where all these people that they assemble the day after some show sucks, go on and make apologies for it and start making excuses and writing stuff into it that didn't actually occur, then maybe I would say something different. But since I'm not getting paid off by anyone, by David Chase or HBO or anyone else, then I'm going to say what everyone else is thinking. Everyone else. Everyone. I don't care what kind of sued writes what or who goes on what panel. There is no genuine Sopranos watcher or anyone who likes good television that didn't want to put their foot through their TV or through David Chase's face after that episode. And I know that I have a personal thing about endings, and it ain't just me. But you pay. See, here's the thing, and we were talking before the show, Neil and I. When you go to a movie, you can't just walk up to the ticket booth and say, hey, that movie sucked, I want my money back. And I can't call Comcast and say, I got HBO because I want to watch Sopranos, and it really sucked. So I want my money back for the premium package that I was paying for. You can't do that, David Chase. See, it's one of those situations where, like, you go to a restaurant, you pay up front, and if the food sucks, you're tough luck. Too bad. Right?
Yeah.
What, did that not make any sense?
No, it was a little close there.
A little close? To what? Sucks?
No, something else.
Sucks? Anyway. So, yeah, I was all pissed off. Everybody else was. Everybody that flooded and crashed the HBO website, they were all saying the same thing. They were all saying the exact same thing. It's a practical joke on the audience, just like the Blair Witch Project. It ain't funny. It ain't clever. See, here's something, like, remember, you saw the Blair Witch Project, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I went nuts. I was sucked in. I was sucked in hard. I went there. There were no seats except for the first row, so we're there watching shaky cam action right there in the first row. And here's, let me tell them, I wish we were on in Hollywood, California, so that movie producers and the special effects people and the executive producers and everything could hear this right now. A black screen is not a special effect and doesn't count as a special effect.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And neither did that ending count as an ending. There was a non-ending. That was pretty fast.
I got the package.
Is it a Boca Brian disc?
Well, of course.
Excellent.
Well, what did you think it was? You think I would go downstairs
Drugs,
just for some
candy,
stupid...
food?
Yeah, that's a good
hot
idea.
grease sex.
That might have been delivering. That's true.
Mexican hustler?
Oh, my God. Lunatic.
God is gonna get you, you'll see.
Already did.
In the heart of Dixie, the land of cotton and hypocrisy. Their drug labs are cranking out methamphetamine. Churches of peace and good are the labs in the moon. Crystal meth sensation, the Christian redneck's new recreation. Crystal meth sensation, crystal meth. All of God's children in God's country. Mountain Dew they are taken intravenously. Some hillbilly numbers, most definitely. They're horny and very poor, so they crave more. Crystal meth sensation.
All right. 10:48. Too bad they're not paying him in a timely fashion again. And we're right back to where we were before with old chicken neck. I beg your pardon?
Or in any
fashion. Untimely, that's right. Yeah, they just want to pay their bills, that's all. That's the bottom line. This is a dishonorable company, and they don't want to pay their bills. They do pay me early, though, and I'm pleased about that, so I don't really care about him. I mean, no, I wish they would take care of him, and it's getting really annoying, but what can I tell you?
Nothing.
It may not be good, but at least they're consistent. Brian Quintana, the man who successfully got a judge to grant him a restraining order against the unctuous and slimy Paris Hilton, has claimed she's got herpes. Although with the amount of men this girl has screwed, it says it would be surprising if she wasn't carrying at least something other than a condom. Where's this from? Oh, it's from a website called Tabloid Horror. I would never want to wish an STD on anyone, but damn, if you're going to wish the herpes on somebody, who better than Paris Hilton? From the random things I've heard, she just seems like a really mean person who hides behind a fake voice and fake smile. Anyway, the funny part about it is the information appeared in a news story on E! Online, the very network that is running The Simple Life and also kisses Hilton's ass every night during their E! News show. The allegations appear as follows. I've got like 75 Paris Hilton stories today. You know, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Right.
Quintana testified last month that his relationship with Hilton turned nasty after she overheard him informing her beau, Stavros Niarchos, that she might have a sexually transmitted disease. I wanted him to be aware of it, that she had herpes, to make sure he didn't catch anything. He informed me that he was aware, Quintana said. He said Hilton interrupted his conversation with Niarchos and became furious. She said, "This is between the three of us. If this gets out, you're an effing dead man," Quintana said. He claimed that after the exchange, he began receiving suspicious phone calls and started to believe his life was in imminent danger. Quintana further alleged Hilton has a drug and alcohol problem, some rather shady associates, and is known for erratic behavior. Not erotic behavior, erratic behavior. Hilton spokesman Elliot Mintz denied Quintana's allegations, telling Court TV she doesn't have herpes, she doesn't have a drug problem, and claiming Quintana was simply trying to humiliate his client in order to gain media attention. So what do you think, it says here? Does Hilton have herpes or not? Either way, props to E! For printing the story and not being so far shoved up Hilton's ass as I thought you were. Maybe I'll go back to watching E! News when Seacrest hosted, says yada yada yada. Well, there you go. Anybody care that Paris Hilton's got chirpies?
That's funny.
Yeah, she deserves all the diseases, all the nasty, grotesque, horrendous things that can befall any human being. Every disease known to man and some that haven't been discovered yet is what she deserves. Mommy! Mommy! And what's the fact that, I guess her herpes were acting up again is what the deal was?
Yeah, the stress caused them to flare.
They flared up?
Oh, yeah.
In her
rectum?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a sight.
What a thought.
Oh, my God.
Senate Democrats failed to secure 60 votes yesterday in an effort to advance a resolution of no confidence against embattled Attorney General Alberto Gonzales. Even though it's got nothing to do, I agree, he's a liar and incompetent and stuff like that, but it's got nothing to do with our form of government. We don't have no confidence votes in American government, and if we did, Bush would already be out. Only 7 Republicans voted with their Democratic colleagues to express their disappointment in non-binding, just symbolic, because they don't have any balls anyway, to express their disappointment with the firing of 8 U.S. attorneys and other controversial matters in the Gonzales administration of the Department of Justice. Norm Coleman of Minnesota, Susan Collins, the whiny Susan Collins of Maine, Chuck Hagel of Nebraska, who's a good guy, Gordon Smith of Oregon, Olympia Snow of Maine, another one, Arlen Specter with the Magic Bullet of Pennsylvania, and John Sununu of New Hampshire. What's new, Sununu? Senator Drew Lieberman, an independent who caucuses with the Democrats, voted with the Republicans, of course. What a surprise. Not your boy, Drew Lieberman. The vote tally was 53 in favor of invoking cloture and 38 voting to continue debate. One senator, Ted Stevens of Alaska, voted present. Present, which is like the ending of The Sopranos. Might just as well not even bother.
Right.
6 senators, including South Dakota's Tim Johnson, who hasn't returned to his office since a stroke earlier in the year, did not vote. Joe Biden, Sam Brownback, Tom Coburn, Chris Dodd, John McCain, and Barack Obama. In the course of the debate, Republican senators attempted to refocus the debate away from the Attorney General and onto the propriety of Senator Chuck Schumer for both heading the Democratic political operation in the Senate and helping to lead the Senate Judiciary Committee's investigation of the firing of those 8 U.S. attorneys. Senator Schumer worked to make the case that politics was not at the heart of either the probe into the firing of the U.S. attorneys or yesterday's no-confidence motion. He put the motion in the casket. This vote is not about politics, he said. If this were all about politics, it would be easy to sit back, let the Attorney General remain, cast aspersions on him for the next 18 months, and reap the political benefits, he said. A freshman senator who helped sponsor the motion also invoked the specter of President Richard Nixon in seeking to bring an end to debate about the resolution. He has politicized this department to a degree not seen since the Nixon administration, said Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat of Rhode Island, as he outlined cases of alleged White House interference in prosecutions around the nation. Schumer then argued that the speeches of Republicans seeking to keep the no-confidence motion bottled up proved his case that no one on the minority side supported the Attorney General. They've made my case. They failed to utter the words, "We have faith in Attorney General Gonzalez," he said. We ought to play Speedy Gonzalez by Pat Boone just to show our contempt and dismay and disgust with the unctuous Alberto V05 Gonzalez. But that would take too long to find, wouldn't it? There it is. Plunk that thing, baby.
You stalled just enough.
Old Mexico.
Plunk it, Pat.
I walked alone.
Think Pat ever plunked it? Plunk your magic twanger, Pat.
I heard the plaintive cry of a young Mexican.
How come it's so low?
That's as hot as you got it.
Wow.
It's the track.
Two loose lot tracks, baby. 900 votes on the poll. Chris can sit back and act like some kind of a retard. You know, you got your 1,000. No Swetsky. You're in like
better come home, Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh. That is, it's not just bad, it is so bad. And it's the way, I know I said that the last time you played that. The way he says it, it's just so, it's strictly for Goyim, man. It's like those little triangular hard homentashen at Purim time. It's not for Jews, it's strictly for Goyim. Could you have a relationship with a girl if she had sex with you on the first date? That's our poll question. We've got 900 votes. Yes, what's wrong with that? 667. 74.1%. Hell yeah, she'd be a change of pace for my blow-up doll. 90. No, that makes her a slut. Only 77, 8.5%. Say that would make her a slut. I'm a girl who likes sex on the first date. 34. I'm a girl who won't date a guy who wants sex on the first date. 32. 7.2% females on this poll. Maybe we're making like a breakthrough.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Hey, Joe. What are you doing with that bobcat in your backyard?
Oh, I'm burying these dead underage boys under my pool that at one time got me hard.
Hey, Joe. What are you doing with all those axes over there?
Oh, I collect axes. I call that the axes of evil. Guess you could call me an axe collector.
Hey, Joe. You know, what you're doing here, it ain't right.
Why's that?
It's got nothing to do with sport.
Valid point. I tell you what, how about joining me inside for some Jesus juice?
Okay.
Now I'll show you my clown paintings.
Oh, Briar. That Joe, what a clown, huh? Everybody loves a clown, except in his case we'll make an exception. You better start taking care of that chicken neck, Joe, okay? And quit giving out my phone numbers. 11:01 at 560 WQAM. And as long as you're on that Sopranos kick, I wasn't going to use this, but I'll do it anyway.
All right, go.
Well, you're not going to like it.
Whatever.
Fraser Moore, who's the Associated Press television writer, his column is headlined, "No Easy Ending for HBO's The Sopranos." What do you mean, no easy ending? How about just no ending?
Sure, that's what's easier than that.
Right. He said, Tony Soprano carries on. The much-awaited conclusion of HBO's The Sopranos arrived Sunday night in a frenzy of audience speculation. Would New Jersey mob boss Soprano live or be killed? Would his family die before his eyes? Would he go to jail? Be forced to enter witness protection? Would Brooklyn boss Philly Attardo, who had ordered a hit on Tony, prevail? In the end,
rectum.
The only ending that mattered was the one masterminded by Sopranos creator David Chase. And playing against viewer expectations as always, Chase refused to stage a mass extermination, put the characters through any changes, or provide his viewers with a comfortable closure.
In other words, he didn't do anything.
Can I finish reading it before you start the... I just gave you like 3 minutes there to ramble on.
Yeah, 3 whole minutes.
You want another half hour? Go ahead.
All right. He sucks. He sucks
or catharsis. Hard. After all, next thing you're going to be doing like that, he blows, you know. Like that Joyce thing.
I'm
that we
sure
can't
he
play
does.
anymore. I think we ought to play that, just for the hell of it.
I think he did.
No fart sounds anymore. Play that for Joyce and David Chase. They both blow.
Ain't no fun sounds like before.
There you go. I keep thinking about that. I wonder, what is the reason that we can't play that? Is there any rational reason why we can't play that?
No rational reason, no.
No, it's Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, after all, he declined to pass moral judgment on Tony. He reminded viewers all season what a thug Tony is, then gave him a pass. But Chase was true to himself, and that's what made The Sopranos brilliant. I told you you'd hate this. He was true to himself, and that's what made The Sopranos brilliant on Sunday night in the 85 episodes that went before. The product of an artist with a bleak but illuminating vision, The Sopranos has always existed on its own terms, and it was seldom tidy. The only neat development in the finale was that Leotardo was crushed. Otherwise, it was perversely non-earth-shaking, just one last visit with the characters we followed so devoutly since 1999. Here was the funeral for Bobby Bacala, Tony's soldier and brother-in-law.
Bacala.
Like baklava.
Bacala.
Who was shot dead on Leotardo's orders last week. Here was Tony, series star James Gandolfini, playing a hospital visit to his gravely injured consigliere Silvio Dante, also targeted by Leotardo DiCaprio. Tony's ne'er-do-well son, AJ, continued to wail about the misery in the world and voiced a fleeting urge to join the army and go fight in Afghanistan. Daughter Meadow harped on her plans to be a lawyer. You can keep mumbling all you want. I'm going to read this. Come hell or high water.
I'm having some ham from Howie's.
Oh, thanks, Howie's. Tony visits his senile Uncle Junior at the nursing home. You and my dad, you two ran North Jersey, Tony prompts him. We did, said Uncle Junior with no sign of recognition. That's nice. Despite suspicions to the contrary, neither Paulie Walnuts nor Patsy Parisi sold out Tony. I wonder if Patsy is like really J.P. Parisi, the hockey player. And neither was Whacked. Dr. Melfi, who kicked Tony out of therapy last week, made no last-minute appearance. Sure, headaches lie ahead for Tony. The feds are still after him. And Meadows' fiancée, Patsy Jr., see, there's that junior crap again, is a lawyer who may well be pursuing cases that intrude on Tony's business interests. So what else is new? The finale displayed the characters continuing for better and worse, unaffected by the fact that the series is done. The implication was they'll go on as usual, we just won't be able to watch. Of course, Leotardo hit a dead end after Tony located him with the help of his favorite federal agent. The execution was a quick but classic Sopranos scene. Pulling up at a gas station with his wife, Leotardo made a grand show of telling his two young grandchildren in the back seat to wave bye-bye as he emerged from his SUV. The next moment, he was on the pavement, shot in the head. Then you heard the car roll over his head. Quick, clinical, even comical. This was the only violence during the hour. Not that Chase, who wrote and directed this episode, didn't tease viewers with the threat of death in almost every scene. This was never more true than in the final sequence. On the surface, it was nothing more momentous than Tony, his wife Carmela, Meadow, and AJ meeting for dinner at a cozy family restaurant. I thought it was a diner.
It was a diner.
It was that place I love in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, that diner. What the hell's the name of that place? God, I love that place. It is so good.
I don't know. Maybe they have egg creams there.
This was never more true than the final sequence. When he arrived, Tony dropped a coin in the jukebox and played the classic Journey power ballad, Don't Stop Believing. Meanwhile, every moment seemed to foreshadow disaster. Suspicious-looking people coming in the door, seated at a table nearby. Meadow on the street having trouble parallel parking her car, the tires squealing against the curb. With every passing second, the audience was primed for tragedy. Well, they got it. It was a scene both warm and fuzzy, yet full of dread, setting every viewer's heart racing for no clear reason, but nothing would happen. It was just a family gathering for dinner at a restaurant. What is the name of that place in Cherry Hill, New Jersey? Boy, I love that place. It's not a diner. It's like a diner, but it's good. Then with a jingle of the bell on the front door, Tony looks up, apparently seeing Meadow making her delayed entrance, or could he have seen something awful, something he certainly deserved, about to come down? Probably not, almost certainly a false alarm, but we'll never know. With that, The Sopranos cut to black, leaving us enriched after 8 years and flustered and fated to always wonder what be happening next. Boy, sure sorry I missed that. In fact, I'm sure sorry I missed all 8 years of it after that anticlimactic ending. Well, it's like putting a big message up on the screen. All you suckers out there, that 8 years of you all wasted your time. Right, that's right. That's what it reminds me of. Like a gigantic waste of time. Speaking of that, I wonder if there's anything good on this disc. That Joe Bell Gacy thing. Now, what about Morning Jew? That could be good.
Good morning. Sport Hole Radio 560 WQAM presents Morning Sports Jews, a new morning drive show chock full of sports information and assorted amateur shtickloch, carefully crafted by our programming mavens for us to enjoy. Hello, I'm your host, Rebbe Menashe Scheinbaum. Joining me this morning is Ethan Skolnick. Ethan.
Hi.
Evan Cohen. And, of course, Geldy Geldstein. This, gentleman, is my question. Why sports?
Because in high school, we always got picked last. Oh, not at all.
So, what would you gentlemen like to do?
I know. Let's have a mystery caller.
That's a wonderful idea.
Okay, I'll get on this phone over here.
Oh, look. We have a mystery caller on the line. Hello? Who is this?
I'm the mystery caller.
Let us now take a call to guess who you are. Kennedy Estates.
Do you play for the Miami Hurricanes?
No.
Inside the building. Hello.
Ho, ho! Hey there, Gildy!
You're not supposed to know it's me, Joe.
This bit's funnier than the square table.
I don't want to do this anymore.
No, that was not entertaining at all.
Oh.
I can't find the name of that restaurant in Cherry Hill, but there, interestingly enough,
what?
There's a place in Cherry Hill, New Jersey called Tony Soprano's Pizza. How do you like that? That place is probably long gone. You know, it's one thing about restaurants, and I know you hate when I do that, but it's true.
Whatever.
That is, if you try to go back a few years, no matter what city it is, like that last time I went to Detroit about many, many years ago, not long enough ago, but long ago, and I went looking for my favorite restaurant. They were all gone, all closed. Of course, that's basically the city of Detroit is all closed, but it's true in Boston, it's true in just about any city, and even Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Like going to Rochester and looking for Don and Bob's. Ain't there no mo. Like going to South Beach and looking for Piccolo's Italian Restaurant. Ain't no, or Neil's on Alton Road. Is that because it's such a tough business? I guess, huh?
It is a tough business.
Boy.
And people get, tired, so, that, if you don't change and adjust periodically.
They get tired of what? Good food?
They get tired of the same food. That's why they go.
That's one thing about South Florida, man. Most of the people in South Florida, their taste is in their tush. Just ask me and I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
God. It's a good thing they're not dating Paris Hilton, I'll tell you that.
What do you mean by that?
965 on the poll. Boy, you're racing toward 1,000 today. What's going on here? What is going on, Chris?
I don't know. They like
and evidently don't care either. Did I mention we got the Marlins and the Indians tonight at the ballpark? Wow, the Indians. That should be really...
Engine killer.
One of those rare interleague, well, occasionally they got them. I don't really care about it at all. I don't want to say that. I just don't care. And I'm especially pissed off we got no Marlin games this week. Wouldn't surprise me, during the day. We got plenty of them at night. When is the next one we have that interrupts the show? Oh, probably when you're on, damn it.
I never get that lucky.
You don't? No, last week you were off last week, and Wednesday we had a 12:30 exit.
Right.
Let's see, June 6th. That's already gone. That's last Wednesday, like I said. Mm-hmm. Damn it. What about July? Got any games in July, like at about 10:30 in the morning? Something like that sounds really good. 1:05 p.m., it's a Sunday. Damn it. A lot of Sunday games at 1:05 p.m. Why do they do that in July when it's 180 degrees in the shade? Why do they do
I don't know. I think they need a domed stadium.
They do what?
I think they need a domed stadium.
Yeah, that would do it. That would sure get my ass over there.
And I want us to pay for it. I want the tax dollars to pay
Monday,
for it.
August 20th, 1:05 against the Giants and Barry Bonds.
All right.
August 20th. But it's a Monday. I don't even work that day anyway. So like I said, say I get screwed. Big time. George gets the benefit of that. See, there you go. There's something for you to look forward to.
All right.
Ain't that nice?
Yes, it is. Very nice.
Twice the bitch should get fired.
Yes.
Twice the bitch should get fired.
Absolutely.
How the hell did she get hired? Twice the bitch should get fired. A highly respected corporate lawyer. So she may say, but she ain't. Here's a bitch who don't have a clue on what she's doing, but somehow she tickles their tails. Smells like an egg. Joyce the bitch should get fired. Joyce the bitch should get fired. How did that dumb broad get hired? Joyce the bitch should get fired. The sourpuss holds up bimbo, sticks her ass where her nose should not go.
Rectum.
Beautiful long hair, get a teaching job at Regis, and stop destroying our show. Hey, whoa! Joyce the bitch should get fired. Whoa! Joyce the bitch should get fired. Whoa! How in the hell did she get hired? Whoa! Joyce the bitch should get fired. What a QAF! Joyce the bitch should get fired. Whoa! She blows. Joyce the bitch should get fired. Whoa! She blows. How did that dumb broad get hired? Whoa! Joyce the bitch should get fired.
11:18, and all of a sudden a brain fart, man. It just came rocketing out of nowhere. Ponzio's was the name of that place. Does that ring any bells with you?
No, none at all.
You never heard me mention it? I've talked about it numerous times on the air. And back in the day when we would take calls, you know, which I'm not going to do today. That would be a stupid idea. I don't want to, like, take away any of the good material from your callers for when you come on Thursday at 1 o'clock for, like, a whole weekend plus. What?
What?
I'm trying to be considerate. Ponzio's.
I appreciate it.
Ponzio. And I guess we could Google that during the break, or I could do it right now.
Sure, well, I'd talk about David Chase. And how many ways I'm going to... And who I want to kick in the nuts more, him or Quentin Tarantino.
Here it is, Ponzio's Restaurant and Bakery, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. See, it's still there. What kind of chazarah do they put on these other websites? I go to Cherry Hill Restaurant, and there's like 80 million of them, which is not that big of a town anyway. The only reason I was there is Garden State Racetrack used to be there. I guess it probably is still there, but they don't race. Damn it. And I think that's because they had that idiot Larry Letterman calling the races at the harness races at Garden State. I mean, what an idiot. Nobody wants an amateur sit-down comedian try to be a race announcer, okay? We want some mellifluous tones like Frank Salive calling the races.
Got away with
or
a
this
very
goofball
easy
at
middle
Woodbine,
half.
which I can't think of this guy's name anymore. Hit him
for
again,
Sweet
Jody,
Day,
come on.
Who's still up front and is solid gold by a length. Second outside is Keystone Divine. In that pocket spot third, that's
My
Long
close
Shot.
personal
Awesome
friend,
Beauty. Some
Jody
heads-up rating
Jameson.
by
Come on,
Jameson
Jody.
might be a recipe
Smack
for
him.
success for Sweet Day.
Kick him in the nuts.
You
Attaboy.
betcha. Sweet Day went the distance, and Sweet Day wins by 2. Second best.
There you go. This guy's pretty weak. Welcome to Ponzio's Restaurant and Bakery. I mean, you want it? I got it. I got 75,000 channels on my cable here, man. This isn't some kind of horseball cable system here. This is the MS. This is the real thing. Welcome to Ponzio's Restaurant and Bakery. When was the last time you had a terrific meal with outstanding service, it says? Probably the last time you visited Ponzio's Restaurant in Cherry Hill, New Jersey on Route 70, where the Ellisburg Circle used to be. Huh. Become a South Jersey... It really is good. It looks... You know what it looks like?
What?
It looks like an old Wags. Remember Wags?
Sure.
It's got that same kind of exterior, you know.
Miss Wags.
Yeah, I loved Wags. Wags is good. What started as a local diner has been transformed into a beautiful restaurant serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, especially known for its Sunday morning brunch and its daily business brunches. Yeah, there you go. Ponzio's. Anybody that ever goes to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, check that place out. It's really, really good. It's not good. It's great. You know, you can get a steak, you can get veal parmesan, you can get breakfast. It's like Wags used to be. And why did Wags go out of business? Because it was too damn good. That's why.
Yep.
Anything that's really good.
That's right.
90% of the time, anything good in South Florida, down the road.
Right.
With a heavy
Sonic.
load. Right. How about the pizza joints we talked about? See, now here you're doing the same thing.
Sure,
Uno's.
let's do it.
Uno's.
Godfathers.
Godfather. There was another one with a thick pizza beside Uno's. What was the name of that?
Ooh,
I forget.
I don't know.
But you know what I mean, though.
Sure.
All the places that came and were so great, and not for me. Not for me. Nicht for mir, baby. I like some slop. I like something soft that you can gum.
That's not what I heard.
Like Duff's.
Duff's what?
Duff's buffet.
Uh-oh.
Rectum.
Yeah. Gum this. In fact, we're going to start bringing that as an extra attraction, no extra charge, the gumming attraction. for the folks in South Florida. 998 on the poll. But Chris, next time I even open up my big fat puss, you'll have over 1,000 votes. Then they will fear us.
Cool.
Then there will be pictures all over the internet. There will be YouTube shots of Joel Feinberg sitting on benches, on bus benches, with his head in his hands crying. I wonder how that's going to affect the sale from what used to be Jefferson Pilot into whatever it is now to somebody else. The fact that they're leasing that thing out to these fakers, you know, Joel Feinberg and his daddy, with that ticket crap. Boy, that last trend, boy, you talk about taking a dive right back to where they belonged, you know, once they lost that bogus January with all them Wire diaries, just like I predicted. And that Sid the Kid, the Yid, whatever the hell his name is, Rosenstein, Kranzberg, Schwartz, that guy, 1.6, baby, you're doing it. And that big cume that he had from phony cume from that one January month, that all evaporated too. We kicked the snot out of him in cume, in average quarter hour, you name it. And believe me, we still got a way to go to get the audience back. After this current crowd we got in there doing everything they could to disembowel the radio station. I love that word, man, disembowel.
That's a good one.
Tearing the guts out.
Right. Eviscerated is a good one, too.
Yeah, I like that. That's what the numbers basically were doing. They had eviscerated. And finally, in this 1 month, you know, it's 1 month. I wouldn't be running around town with sandwich boards doing too much promotion until we see if we can maybe sustain that a little bit. And like that morning show that we know is going off the air, they finally threw a number in there, and of course now they're going. Everybody knows they're going, and that's probably the reason that they're so bitter in there, including that bastard. You know something? Toast and Grieper, if we could fire up old Sparky up there in where is it, in Stark? Fire it up. Get the old twin holer out. So Toast and Grieper. We got 1,001 votes, by the way, Chris. I just mentioned that in passing. You seem like out of the loop. Probably too much food.
Thank you, everybody.
Probably too much. Does Holston, H-U-L-S-T, I never heard of that, Brandon. H-U-O-H-O-U, I don't know what that is. And how about Houston shutting down there in Fort Lauderdale because of the hurricanes? Isn't that depressing? Now, isn't that one of everybody's favorites, or at least wasn't it?
I don't know about favorites.
It wasn't one of your favorites, Houston's? What are you, some kind of a communist or what?
I'm poor is what I am, so I don't get there.
Oh, Houston's wasn't an expensive.
Oh,
what are you talking
free?
about? What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's been so long since I ate there, I don't remember if it was expensive or not.
More expensive than some of us can swing on a regular basis.
All you would get there is like soup, a salad, and a burger or something like that. How expensive could that be? How much could that cost?
More than we got.
Oh, more than you got. Well, whatever it is more than you got.
That's it.
And then way more than what Chris has got.
We save up to go to McDonald's.
You know something? I'm not going to say it. Don't start with names of places that advertise on a radio station, good or bad. I was actually going to say something good about them.
I don't think they advertise.
The hell they don't. Are you a crazy person or what? Are you crazy?
We have McDonald's spots?
I believe so.
Of course we do.
Okay, I never heard of it.
You need to go to rehab, man.
Okay, see ya.
You are so out of control. I think it was that week vacation. Let me take a look at the list.
Very weak.
Let me take a look at this list that they sent me some time back, about 100 years ago. January 2004. That's only 3.5 years ago. Guess what's on that list of top advertisers on this radio station? Guess what's on it? I'll give you one guess.
Wags?
Good guess. Excellent guess. And I was about to say, you know what, I'm in Amsterdam. At least it's consistent. No matter where you are in the world, it's exactly what you expect it to be. And I do the Atkins. I take the buns and I toss them away, and I use the wrapper as kind of like a holder, you know, and I just eat the meat and the cheese. In Amsterdam. You would sound thrilled about that.
I think it's a great idea.
And not only is it a great idea, it's a necessity.
Sure.
It's an absolute. And the one thing there's so many freaky people there that no matter what you do, if you ate standing on your head there, they wouldn't even give you a second look. You know, they have all those stiffs out on the street. You know what I mean by that? The guys that have like painted silver and pretending to be statues and so on. You know,
the mimes.
What's that square called that they're all at?
The damn square. That damn square. There are no stiffs on the damn square. Well, there probably are some stiff, but...
Mimes you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess you'd call them that.
Yeah.
They're on the dam rack. That's the tourist trap. That's the street that's the tourist trap. Every place has got a tourist trap. Like Niagara Falls is a tourist trap. And I'm not just saying that because I'm bitter, because I had that really bad losing day about 3-4 weeks ago at Niagara at Falls View. I'm not saying that just because of that, but largely because of that. Because they suck. They're just sucking the money out of the poor touristas, man. All those beautiful young college students that go there, screwing their brains out illegitimately in that hotel. How'd you like to be a fly on the wall in that place, huh?
Okay, sounds great. Let's go.
27 past 11 at 560 WQM.
Bill Rogers.
Hello and welcome to A Current Affair.
Paris Hilton, now behind bars. It will be her home for the next 3 weeks.
Paris, how was your first full day in prison?
It's a lot of fun.
Really?
I love it.
Really?
A lot.
What's so fun about it?
Huge enclosed cages.
Cages?
It's a lot of fun. We play housewives, and
I heard you were involved in some kind of three-way lesbian thing.
Yes, I was. Last night.
Oh.
I can't wait to come out.
I heard you made another sex tape.
People keep asking about the sex tape. I'm really getting off. It's really rude. If one more person asks me, I'm going to get up and walk away.
Actually, you can't get up and walk away. So tell us about your lesbian sex tape.
That's hot.
Okay, 11:32 at 560 WQAM. It's a good thing I'm going on vacation pretty soon and going to be doing a lot of that Mickey D'ing it, you know, because I'm getting bad influence here on the internets once again.
Damn it.
Yeah, French bread pizza he's making today. And so guess what I just stuck in the, and I'm nuking right now.
Right.
I'm going to eat it on the air. If you guys can eat on the air, why the hell can't I?
Right. Listen, I got a call from somebody offering to bring us Tony's, and I said yes, a nice Greek salad. And they said no pizza, none of this.
Quit being before the show. He's telling me again about he had shrimp yesterday and
that's right. And I didn't eat any of the French fries.
And, well, good for you. I'm glad that somebody is being on their good behavior on the straight and narrow path.
Trying to embarrass you and you're not dying.
I'm not one of those. Well, it's not working.
All right.
I'm nuking a small Stouffer's mac and cheese right now. What are you laughing about?
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah. Bastard.
I want the audience to know that when Neil dies, it'll be Brandon's fault.
I think you got him on the. I think you got him on the payroll.
That's right. I want that money now.
And I have in my hand right now. Oh, sorry, Kraft 100% Parmesan, or is that Parmesan, as Mr. Ego would say?
Whatever it is.
Parmesan cheese. I wonder if it's got peppercorns in it.
Kraft isn't on that list, is it?
No, it is not.
That's quite.
Kraft doesn't advertise on this radio station, and thanks to you, I'm sure they never will.
Good.
What? I don't want to go through the whole thing again. Why you hate them so intensely?
Yeah. Well, they suck. For starters.
What do you mean they suck? This is good
industrial.
cheese, man.
It's industrial. Everything's made in a factory out of the same ingredient, sugar boogers.
This is a grated cheese, fromage râpé.
Yeah.
Fromage my ass.
I'm sure it tastes like it.
Yeah, well, maybe it kind of smells like it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, actually, it's like aged Parmesan. It's got to be, because it's got that, like, extra, either that or it's like rancid, one or the other. But anyway, I'm going to sprinkle that on the, I'm going to eat it right here on the air during the show. Screw all this crap. If everybody wants to keep tempting me with food and killing me, the old diabetic that I am, go ahead, have a good time, okay? I enjoy it. I likes my food, Like Chris over there, he likes his food.
No, I'm getting yelled at for not bringing pizza.
He's going to be diabetic really soon and die an early death, but that's unfortunate. He doesn't have the good genes that I got.
Yeah, right.
So you can knock your parents all you want. There's Father's Day coming up on Sunday, and the only good thing I'll say about that miserable bastard who's been dead for several years now is he lived till 90.
All right.
And Ma lived to 91. Died on her 91st birthday. So I'll take 90. That means I'd be on the air another 26 years.
Sweet.
26 and a half
Not if
years.
Brandon has his way.
Will you quit picking on Brandon?
No.
You're getting just like Josh now. He hates Josh. The two of you are like fighting and feuding and fussing like a bunch of school kids, like a bunch of rednecks. Like the Beasleys, feuding and fussing.
Just a little more.
Giuliani retains GOP lead for presidential nomination, but guess who's making big gains now? Fred Thompson. Oh. Fred Thompson is the Kimba Beaucamper of politics. He's got all the personality of a dead fruit fly. Republicans antsy for conservative standard bearer in the presidential race have begun to rally behind Fred Thompson, propelling the former Tennessee senator within hailing distance of the lead for the party's nomination. A new L.A. Times Bloomberg poll has found. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani is first in the survey with support from 27% of the Republicans and independents as they plan to vote in the primaries, but Thompson is running just in the behind with 21%, 27-21. McCain has got 12, and Mitt Romney has got 10. The rest of the crowd is mired in single digits. Among the Democratic candidates, the race remains little change from the Times Bloomberg poll in April. Hillary's got a solid lead, 33%. Barack Obama's 22%. Running third is Vice President Al Gore, 15%. And John Edwards, only 8%, even with a haircut. And the most interesting lead, the most interesting part of this poll, Despite Swillery's lead, Obama is the strongest Democrat in hypothetical matchups against Republicans in the general election. How do you like that? Running even or well ahead of the Republicans' top contenders. Well, we see that's why they won't nominate him, because he actually can win. Oh no, America will never elect a black president. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Now where's the this one against that one thing? It's on here somewhere. Did I toss it? Oh, that would be bad. I might have tossed it. Because that would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Well, we don't want to do that. It'd be too interesting.
Yeah, dig around for it.
I ain't got it.
Damn it.
Joe Biden's got 5%, Bill Richardson 4%, Little Dennis Kucinich 2%, and poor Chris Dodd, he's only got 1%. Narrowed to 3 choices, it's Clinton 42, Obama 32, and Edwards 20%. Yeah, the hypothetical general election matchups did not include Thompson. Giuliani would defeat Clinton 49-39. Romney loses by double digits to Obama or Edwards. Also lopsided, Obama's margin over McCain, 47 to 35%. Obama would defeat Giuliani 46 to 41. How do you like that? I'm telling you, Barack's the man, you idiots out there that want to put the most divisive, the most polarizing person in the Democratic Party, Swillery, in there. She had got a Chinaman's chance in a Japanese restaurant. No chance. But suit you yourself. Do whatever you want. Do what you want. Well, I'm thinking of Greg Reed with that Suchi crap. You know, it affects your mind in a very negatory way. That must be the excuse for Greg. You know, either that or he was just stupid. Could be he was stupid. He always had that kind of stupid look on his face. You know something? I can smell the macaroni and cheese in here now, which means either I nuked it too long and it's burning, or it's just getting to that nice bubbly, point now. See, the Stouffer's macaroni and cheese, contrary to what, who was it? My friend Z-Man, Zisco was telling me a few days ago. It's not good. Now, maybe if you cook it in the oven, it's good. But first of all, it takes forever in the oven, number one. And number two, I mean, that's the way to crisp it. I don't use my oven. And now the buzzer went off. Can I go get it? Talk about, what's his name? David Chase.
David Chase. So anyway, it's like this. You know, like if you go to an art store, you can look at a painting and you can either buy it or not and take it home and this, but you can't do that with these movies and with the TV shows. So basically, he ripped us off. He owes me a whole lot of money. Did you read the articles? He left town. He went to France, and he told all the other co-writers and everything, don't answer any questions and don't.
He's got France in his pants?
Yeah, because he knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly what the reaction would be. He knew it was wrong, and he did it anyway. Faker.
Man, it is bubbly, and it looks really delish.
Yeah. It's not too hot, is it?
It's just right. Well, it's too hot to eat now. I don't want to interrupt your David Chase rant.
That's all right. To be continued for all summer.
Well, one thing about you Sopranos people, man, at least you were loyal, Loyal
well, you got
and to show you his appreciation for your loyalty, he just stuck it to you.
That's right. Thanks, David.
Yeah, thanks, audience. Not. God, is that good? You know which part is really good?
The edges.
The part around the edges where it really not burned, but close to it, where it's really crisp.
You got it. Oh, yeah. A little chewy.
Now, if you cook it in the oven, the whole thing will be like that.
I know, but that's a pain in the ass.
The Stouffer's isn't really good because, and don't tell me this isn't done inside. Oh, it's cold in the middle.
Oh, geez, you got to go back.
This baby's got to go back in there.
Yeah, stir it up and put it back in.
Well, I couldn't do the break right now, but I better go put this back in. Talk about David Chase.
Or I could just play some James Brown.
1, 2, 3.
Tired of being jerked around, Speaking of hot macaroni.
Hot pants. Hey, hot pants. No, hot pants. Smoking that hot pants.
You back yet?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll put it in for another 99 seconds, so during the break it'll be done. And by the time we get back, I'll be sitting here heating a bunch of burnt macaroni.
You're heating it?
Ooh, that nice oven brown. That is true, though. If you cook it in the oven, man, you get that real nice... If you put the broiler on, for like a minute.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm a pig, and I like my food, but I don't lie, see. All you goody two-shoes out there that pretend that I'm a pig, you're probably bigger gluttons than I am. You loves your food, you just lie about it. You didn't get fat by not liking food, I'll tell you that.
That's right.
Criminalize pot in Florida.
I like Lovshin-Kugel.
Pardon?
Noodle pie with chocolate chip ice cream.
Pound cake with chocolate chip ice cream is good. Ring dings. And chocolate chip ice cream. Wait, chocolate swirl ice cream, even better.
That's nothing. Did you ever suck the jelly out of a jelly donut and then fill it with chocolate swirl ice cream?
I like to stuff a jelly donut with Reese's peanut butter cup, then put it in a warm oven and let the chocolate and everything melt into the dough.
How about peanut butter and jelly on a chocolate-covered graham cracker?
With thin layers of banana on top.
Could I have a little lemon in my water, please?
I make chocolate chip cookies with M&M's instead of chocolate chip.
They don't melt in your hands.
Yeah. Junior, can I have a little more lemon in my hot water, please?
Mr. Lapalata, lemon?
No, I'd like a little fresh orange juice squeezed in mine, if you got it.
No, sorry.
Okay, then lemon.
The crones, they got chocolate-covered orange wedges. The juice just dribbles down your chin.
Junior, could I have just a drop of honey in this, please? Just a drop.
A wedge of the actual fruit is covered with that thick, dark chocolate. You know?
Oh, boy. How'd you like to stuff one of them in a donut?
Get the honey, Junior.
Give him the honey, Junior.
It's in the cupboard, Dom.
Well, get it.
What else do they cover with that chocolate? I mean, besides the orange wedges? Grapes? Peaches?
Strawberries.
Junior, the honey.
Those big, juicy stem strawberries are dipped into that dark, dark chocolate.
Get the honey! Get the honey!
Tommy, no.
Sweet Georgia Brown, it's 11:48, 12 minutes till noon at 560. It's all Gluttony Radio, baby. We're eating and we're enjoying it. I'm eating my mac and cheese Stouffer's. You know what the problem is with this? That's not as good as it could be?
What's that?
Good macaroni and cheese, it sits in like the container over a period of time, and it kind of like sticks together, you know what I mean?
Sure.
This is like too clean and pristine.
I see.
In other words, the cheese is like too goopy, which I like goopy cheese, but not on this.
Right.
Pretty good, though. Especially with some of that Kraft Parmesan sprinkled on it.
Yeesh.
Some of that Kraft Parmesan cheese.
The green container there?
No, this is light.
Oh.
26% less fat.
Smells like feet.
Maybe it smells like your feet. My feet don't smell like cheese, mister. I hate to break it. And I don't even wear any socks.
Mine don't smell like cheese either. But Parmesan cheese does. Smell like feet.
Like whose feet? Paris Hilton's feet?
Mr. Parmesan.
Mr. Parmesan. Boy, is that good. They had one. It was some off-brand I never heard of, some Canuck brand. They had one macaroni and cheese in the freezer compartment that was big enough to feed the Chinese army. I mean, even a pig like me would be too embarrassed to buy that, because I know I'd nuke it. I'd probably put it in the oven and then eat the whole damn thing and die. Whereas this one Stouffer, small one here, it's not going to kill me, and it's carbs, and that proves that there's no God, because the only thing that tastes really great are carbs. I mean, a nice steak is good every now and then, but whoever went and got a second steak, right?
Right, that's a good point.
Am I correct?
You are.
Because protein satisfies your appetite. Right. It doesn't stimulate it. That's why Atkins can work for people who can stay on it, who aren't gluttons like me, who aren't addicted to sugar like me, who aren't addicted to refined carbs like me, and like so many of you folks, so many of you weak, fat folks. I feel for you. How do we get started on the mac and cheese thing?
Brandon.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon.
Checks in the mail, Brandon. We'll give you
50%. Yeah. What does he get, 10%?
Right.
Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, this eating on the air. Although you probably want to talk a little more about David Chase.
Sure. How do you want to kill him? Skin him slowly from the back of the fingernails on, up his arms, and save his neck for last.
Now, let me ask Chris this question. Have you seen...
Yes.
I know I keep asking you this, and I don't know the answer. Have you seen Fatso? I don't think you have.
Not yet, no.
Well, why not?
Because I just haven't gotten around to putting in the DVD player to watch it yet.
So, in other words, you've got it.
Yeah.
This to me, is a real crime. You've got it, and
It's
you
in my
haven't
bag.
watched it. It's what?
It's in my bag.
It's in your sack?
Yeah, kind of.
Big sack. And what was the other one you were saying yesterday? You haven't watched it because George hasn't given it to you yet?
I don't know. Yesterday he said that?
No, last week he said something.
Yeah.
Josh and I were talking about some flick, and he said, astonishingly, he hasn't seen it.
Well, remember it, and I'll write it down on here on my hand.
And I know you got it. Was it Standing in the Shadows of Motown? Was
Yes,
it that?
that's it.
Okay.
I mean, well, what?
See, I would be more interested in seeing Standing in the Shadows of Motown than Fatso.
No, you got to see Fatso.
Just listening to that one scene is just like, ugh.
It's a great
Send
scene.
you over the edge?
It's a great scene.
Mm-hmm. Chubby Checkers, baby. Really, it worked like a charm, didn't it? Oh, like all the other weight loss gimmicks. I'm almost done with this, by the way, if you're getting aggravated and agitated. How come I'm not,
I'm not.
rambling
Any of the
on?
above.
I'm talking to the audience, not just you. You don't
Right.
care.
No.
You don't care because you got a crappy attitude because
That's
Chicken
right.
Neck isn't getting taken care of. And I don't blame you.
That's one of the
That pisses
reasons.
me off
Sure.
big time.
He's not the only one that's not getting paid, apparently.
No, you don't understand.
Walt
You're getting
isn't.
paid. You're getting paid what they agreed to pay you.
No. Mad Dog was saying yesterday on the air that he hasn't been paid for 2 months.
Hey, don't feel bad, Brian.
He hasn't been paid for 2 months. Mr. Mandich hasn't been paid for 2 months.
course,
One of our
Mr.
superstars.
Right. Of course, he's probably not living hand to mouth.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's got his, construction
That's not the
business.
point. You shouldn't have to be starving to death to ask for a paycheck. When the paycheck is due, that's when real businesses, real companies send you the paycheck. Or a little sooner in my case.
Yeah, so he was saying he's not going to be doing any more of the remotes. Like yesterday, he was actually supposed to be at the golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't go there. He's not going to Dolphins camp. Not doing anything until they start paying again.
They're not paying him?
That's what he said. He hasn't received a check since April.
Well, he's not a part-timer anymore. He's like a full-time member of our highly esteemed staff.
Yeah, he's like you.
I wouldn't go that far. No, seriously, what kind of garbage is that? When the word gets out around town that Jim Mandich isn't getting paid in a timely fashion, people are going to start looking at the Beasleys and say, "What a bunch of yahoos, man! What a bunch of country bumpkin yahoos!" And you know what? They'd be right. Anybody who would say that would be absolutely correct. Let me tell you right now. I'm looking for something. Here it is.
Yahoo! Oh!
That sums them up in a nutshell. Work your brains off, man. Work yourself into a frenzy trying to entertain the audience. Work yourself down to a nub for a bunch of schlubs. This isn't really great, but you know what? It's okay.
It's good enough.
Yeah, well, it's good enough because I didn't have any bacon this morning. I ran out and I forgot to get any new. I don't know about you, but do you ever use the oven?
I don't. My wife bakes a lot. How about Chris?
She does?
I do
Sure.
occasionally.
Sure, she's a bacon fool.
You do? Chris does?
Yes, occasionally.
Figures. Anybody that fat must be using every part of the stove that works.
Not quite.
Telling you. Am I right? He's got all the burners going on at the same time.
No, definitely not.
It burns.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they did with your check. They put it on the back burner.
My check?
Anybody's check. Anybody that they're not paying. With Chicken X check. That is so freaking unacceptable, man. It's disgusting. Not as disgusting as me sitting here eating on the air. That's really disgusting.
And they're using his material in that promo without compensating him or asking for permission or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't pay him for it, and then they rip the stuff off and they put it on other day parts and promos.
Sure.
That's what they are, man. They're a bunch of users. Like most employers, they're a bunch of users. Use you and squeeze every ounce of energy and talent you have in your body and then discard you like an old sponge. That's life in the big city. You got 1,057 votes, though, Chris. Aren't you excited about that?
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you,
We
everybody.
couldn't care less. Let's get the money, okay? Forget about votes on a stupid-ass poll. Because the votes would indicate we got a lot of people listening out there, especially in these dog days of the summer. El 12 de junio. My God.
Yeah! Ain't ready. What's up, y'all? This your boy D-Mike. You see, I usually do songs with, like, hooks and concepts and shit, right? But that, man, I'm trying to go platinum. So I'm about to rock this shit. Check this out, y'all. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K. 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 Not a sports page, not a magazine. What a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine. What a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine. What a book. Book. Not a sports page, not a magazine. What a book. Book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K. 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 Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Raise your kids, raise your kids, raise your damn kids. Body needs water, so drink that. Body needs water, so drink that. Your body needs water, so drink that. Your body needs water, so drink that. Buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, buy some land, buy some land. Spin it real, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your damn teeth. Deodorant, 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 deodorant. Coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. It's coffee stick, it's not expensive. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K.
1203-560 WQM. Okay, launch is done. We can go back to the sanctity of talk radio now. George is all through ripping on David Chase. And we can go back. Well, I wouldn't go. It's the 12th of June.
Right.
I wouldn't get too carried away with that crap. You got 1,068 votes on the poll. I think 1,200 is within your grasp, Chris.
After yesterday, I think so.
Oh, yesterday was astonishing to me. How the hell did you pull that off? That was amazing.
David Copperfield.
That must be it. We must be fixing it. Eric must be putting ringers in there or something. Speaking of oops, well, crap happens. Afghan police mistakenly thought U.S. troops on a nighttime mission were Taliban fighters and opened fire on them, prompting U.S. forces to return fire and called an attack aircraft, killing 7 Afghan police. Officials be saying today. Well, it was an accident and somebody got hurt. U.S.-led coalition Afghan troops, meanwhile, killed more than 24 suspected Taliban fighters during an 8-hour battle in southern Afghanistan yesterday. President Karzai, who's nothing but a Unequal stooge, or Chevron, I forget which one, big oil stooge, labeled the shooting at a remote police checkpoint in the eastern province of Nangarhar a tragic incident caused by a lack of communication. Kind of like what happened in New York on 9/11, you know? Lack of communication.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Which is why so many people went back into the second tower and died. Lack of communication. I don't think Rudy Giuliani could be held to blame for that, do you? Not if you're a good Republican. Can you believe that the field is so weak?
Oh, yeah.
So weak that Fred Thompson, a grade Z actor, former senator turned BS actor, is now almost in the lead. I say bring him on, baby. Bring him on.
Oh, who are they going to run against him?
Barack Obama would sweep the floor with that fat ass.
Right. Let me ask again. Who are they going to run?
Swillery.
Right. See? They will snatch defeat from the jaws of victory like you always say.
They know how, man. They know how like nobody ever. Inmates at a federal prison in Otisville, New York. Oh, I bet you they know what a egg cream is. Said their constitutional rights have been violated. I have no idea where that is. I never heard of it. Google it. Where's Otisville?
I don't know.
Like Johnny Otis. Remember that song, Willie and the Hand Jive, by Johnny Otis?
All right, Chris.
Well, I bet you got that.
I'll find that song. You find Otisville.
Oh, can I Google it?
Chris is doing it.
I'm Googling it right now.
Wow, jive comes up a lot.
Yeah, but how about Johnny Otis? I bet you he ain't going to come up a lot. So, you see, that would be the way to... Oh, you can't find it that way?
Yeah, Willie in the Hand Jive. Here we go. I can find it anyway. I just threw in jive.
It's in the Hudson Valley, so it's just upstate from New York. Johnny Otis in a medley of his smash, and, of course, we can't say it on the air.
I know a cat named Way Out Willie. He got a cool little chick named Rockin' Billy.
It's right near Middletown, which I also have no idea where that is.
He can walk and stroll in Susie Q. And do that crazy hand jive, too.
Do you know there's okay, that's enough of that. Do you know that there's a town called Florida, New York?
No, I do now.
You do now. It's right near Chester. Wow. And when I think of Chester, I think of two things. I think of Fester, and I think of...
Chesterfield. Tight little island full of gay romance. They wear gay sandals and they wear tight pants. Sun-drenched top to bottom every day. Blessed with the miracle of being gay. The very best of faggots in the USA. Giving big, big pleasure in a big, big way. The very best of faggots in the USA. Giving big, big pleasure in a big, big way. Chesterfield.
Join the big swish to Chesterfield Queen, new choice of the fags of America.
I wonder if Ethan Skolnick is smoking them. Anyway, religious books have been removed from prisons across the country in response to a federal directive meant to keep radical texts, especially Islamic ones, away from violent inmates. But the lawsuit filed by 3 inmates at Otisville say all religions have been affected. Inmate John Ocon, speaking on behalf of the prison's Christian population, told a judge that the Christian books that were taken out have helped inmates turn their lives around. They've turned it around. Probably not just once, either. A government lawyer responded that prison officials need time to examine a long list of books because some prisons have, in his words, been radicalized by inmates who are practicing or espousing various extreme forms of religion, specifically Islam. Those dang Muslims, baby. That's right. When in doubt, stamp them out. All the other religion be good, and Islam be bad. Especially if you're like an inmate. Am I right? You got it.
I got it.
Mark Cooper has an article here in The Nation that you're not going to be too pleased about. Hollywood tilting to Hillary, ? After an early tabloid romance with Barack Obama, it now looks like the Hollywood glitterati might be ready for a steady date with Hillary. Oh. The LA Times reports that Senator Clinton is Tinseltown's new favorite baby, picking up a cool $1.1 million in Hollywood cash during one left coast visit last week. The Times report says the pro-Clinton buzz is all around town. In fact, it's become so strong that Steven Spielberg, once considered a solid supporter of Democrat Obama, is now believed to be leaning in favor of Hillary, according to longtime industry politicos. Spielberg's political spokesman, Andy Spahn, I wonder if he's kin to Warren Spahn, was coy this week when asked about Spielberg's political thinking. We have nothing to announce, he said, but stay tuned. But behind the scenes, the signs are pretty clear. Last week, Clinton cruised through town raising a cool $1.1 million in one day at a celebrity-studded reception at News Corp, President Peter Chernan's house, an event co-sponsored by Spielberg and television financier Chaim Saban. I wonder if he's kin to Nick Saban. Chaim. Clinton brought in $850,000. Chernon's boss, Rupert Murdoch, currently bidding to take over the Wall Street Journal, is a political right-wing lunatic who sometimes gives to Democratic candidates. Even super agent Ari Emanuel is one of Obama's top industry supporters, wrote a check to Swillery. Oh, boy. Later, the junior senator from New York went to director Brett Ratner's house, where she raised $250,000 at the event held in Ratner's downstairs disco. A variety of young Hollywood hipsters joined the ponied up, including will.i.am, Eric Dane, Rebecca Gayheart, Alex Avant, and Quincy Jones. Quincy freaking Jones. What is he, about 110 now?
About that.
Don't tell me George went to...
No, I'm right here. What?
Oh, well, you never know.
The mic there.
When he interjects first, sometimes that's a bad sign.
Sometimes I am in the magic.
It means you're doing the purple apple quick step. Later this month, we'll see if the trend holds. All three top-tier Democratic candidates scheduled to make passes through Hollywood over the next 2 weeks. Well, not good news. See what a fair weather people these people are? Doochie boxes? Not good. will.i.am. Well, what is that?
It's a rapper name.
Oh, yeah? Is that what it be?
Sure.
I am? Oh, you hear what he said? He said it be. Well, even John Lennon was white, and he said let it be. So what could be wrong with that?
Nothing.
Oh, Sabon. Excuse me.
What?
I'm getting corrected. The guy's name isn't Sabin. Chaim Sabon.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that. But from Brandon, who's in between telling me about his French bread pizzas ready in the oven.
I'm not sure if he'd know that name.
If who'd know what name? Nick Saban?
Brandon would know Sabon.
Are you picking on him again? Listen, keep him.
Well, I don't think he wrestles, so, you know.
Keep him in that little box there with the I am box where he belongs. He's very comfortable in there. Don't start getting into a war with him because look what he did to poor Josh. Josh is going into rehab now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going into Vegas rehab.
Yeah. I wonder what he's going to be doing besides getting plastered out there. I wonder who he's going to be. I mean, what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, a lot of it.
All these guys, I'm going to Vegas or I'm going to Amsterdam and I'm leaving my girlfriend or my wife at home. And I'm not going to be doing nothing, just, a little drinky poo here and there. Right, we believe you. Not. Now, even George doubts that there's any chance that that's accurate,
That what's accurate?
That he's going to be not
Yeah, he's going to be chased all right. By other women's husbands and boyfriends, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's already been chased on our website. On our MySpace. A lot, but mostly by guys.
I know, that's the way it works.
They want you, Josh.
Daddy, will you read me a story?
Ask your mother, bitch.
Mommy, can Daddy read me a story?
What do you think I'm doing here, you idiot? Did you grow up on a sitcom or something?
Family, isn't it about time you left? This message brought to you by the Church of Latter-day Satanists.
1217 at 560 WQAM. That must have been Alec Baldwin. Who else would talk to a little girl like that, right?
Right.
CNN's John Roberts announced a new political series yesterday saying that each week we'll tell you about a defining moment for one of the presidential candidates. The first installment in the series concerned Rudy Giuliani and 9/11. After playing a clip of, I am so sick from that macaroni and cheese, I want to swoon.
Oh, jeez, I knew it. There goes your blood sugar. He's going to die.
Oh, yeah. I'm just nauseous from it. It just made me want to puke.
Looks like I'm going to have an hour and a half to talk about David Chase, aren't I?
Not good. What?
I said
talk about David Chase.
All right. He sucks. He makes me want to puke.
After playing a clip of Giuliani insisting this war is not a bumper sticker and pointing out that he's based his entire campaign on his ability to fight terrorism, CNN turned to political reporter Dominic Carter, who covered Giuliani when he was mayor of New York. Terrorism was not so much on his radar screen, said Carter of Giuliani. He was more of a law and order mayor. He was more interested in closing down all the porn on Times Square. Carter praised Giuliani's leadership after the 9/11 attack, but questioned his judgment leading up to it, mentioning the controversial sighting of Giuliani's Emergency Management Center at World Trade Center Building 7 and the issue of the radios between the police and fire department, which was a factor leading to the deaths of 342 firefighters when the towers collapsed. The country's largest firefighter union is now leading an anti-Giuliani campaign. Giuliani has also recently come under heated criticism for ignoring toxic air pollutants and pressing for a rapid cleanup of the World Trade Center site after 9/11. CNN concluded with former FBI Director Louis Freeh, who worked as a prosecutor in the 80s under then U.S. Attorney Giuliani and is now a member of the Giuliani campaign team, calling Giuliani the best and the brightest. That phrase, which Free used with no apparent sense of irony, comes from the title of a 1972 book by David Halberstam, which detailed the disastrous decisions by seemingly brilliant advisors to the Kennedy and Johnson administrations that led the U.S. into a quagmire in Vietnam. 1091 on the pool, baby. You got 1,091. I think 1,200's in the bag. It's in the sack.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah. Mr. Hotshot, we got it. Yeah, we got it. Anyway, don't be picking on Chris too much. He had a brutal week with Josh.
You mean Brandon?
Sounded like Josh had a brutal week.
Yeah, he did.
You mean Brandon?
Yeah, he enjoyed it, though. He likes it. He likes stirring it up. More South Florida residents died with cocaine, speaking of snorting it up, with cocaine in their bodies last year than the year before. And fewer died with heroin as a factor, contributing to their deaths, according to a report released yesterday. The report summarizing statewide autopsy results from 2006 suggests the deadly use of cocaine and prescription drugs is on the rise, while heroin and morphine are claiming fewer lives in Florida. Broward County had 150 cocaine-related deaths, Palm Beach County had 191, and Dade County 182, accounting for a quarter of the state's 2,052 deaths, in which cocaine was a factor. Look at that, Palm Beach County was more than Dade or Broward. You don't think that's because all those hotsy-totsy, wealthy people who can afford that white powder, do you?
Right.
Oh. The total of 523, it was an increase from 495 the year before. In contrast, heroin was the cause of 13 deaths in Broward, 8 in Palm Beach, and 20 in Dade. In all three counties, numbers were down from 2005. Statewide, deaths caused by heroin dropped 28.4%. Dr. Joshua Perper, the guy with a very strange head.
Yeah, Gumby.
Yeah, Broward's medical examiner, said the county accounted for 206 deaths involving drugs. Isn't he lucky that Ann Nicole croaked? That made him famous. That made his Gumby head very famous, Dr. Perper. In the report, I think I'm going to have that macaroni come back at me again. It's definitely working its way back up.
Oh, geez.
That was some of the nastiest swill.
Right there on the microphone.
I might. I got a can of Listerine in the other room, Mr. Clean. In the report, drugs, including illegal substances, prescription medications, and alcohol, were not always the main cause of death, but were present singly or in combination in people's bodies when they died. In some cases, such as an accident, the cause of death was not specifically drugs, though they were found during the autopsy. You should never let me eat that macaroni and cheese during the show.
No, you shouldn't.
Booze was the most common substance found, present in almost 3,700 bodies. Next to that was cocaine, found in 2,052 bodies, and tranquilizers like Xanax or Valium, found in the system of almost 2,000 people who died. Xanax or Valium. I just mentioned that in passing. Oh, guess what movie I watched again last night? I already told you. With Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Imaginary
What's
Heroes.
it called?
Imaginary Heroes.
Imaginary Heroes. And it was just as good last night as it always is. She's so great, it's scary. That's how good she is. Everybody's good in that movie. And I don't know who the actress who plays her next door neighbor, the one that where they hate each other like poison, she was great too. She was funny as hell. And there's a bug crawling onto my wall. Oh, one moment, please. Talk about David Chase.
David Chase sucks. He sucks giant donkeys.
It was a little spider.
Oh, is that all it was?
Oh, yeah.
You're taking off from the radio show to deal with a spider?
How the hell can I tell what it was? This little baby spider. Okay, it's dead now.
What matters what it was? Was it coming at you?
The Lord works in mysterious ways, baby. One moment it was a little spider crawling across my wall, and now it's dead. Now it's just a gray matter. Splatter. That's the end of that. Well, I don't want that
damn what?
Cable box falling off again. What is that, Jim? Don't tell me. Jim something.
I'm not going to tell you.
Spiders and snakes and stuff like that?
Yeah. Come on. You got to come up with a name before you start singing.
Jim Stafford. I just said it.
I remember when Mary Lou said, "You won't walk me home from school." Well, I said, "Yes, I do."
What a stupid-ass song, man. That was
come on now. You got no sense of humor.
That was a hit?
It was a novelty song, obviously.
It was crap, man. I mean, some novelty songs like Buchanan and Goodman or Purple People Eater are funny, you know. Or The Witch Doctor, David Seville and The Witch Doctor, you didn't like that?
They're all fun. Of course I do.
However that went.
Ooh,
Ting,
ee,
walla,
ooh,
walla,
ah,
bing,
ah.
Caca.
Bing, bang.
Walla, walla, bing, bang.
That's
cock-a-moon.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, he would know that record if you took it and slid it inside his. He
Rectum.
would know that song.
I've heard of that song.
The Witch Doctor by David Seville. Yeah, right. Now,
The one
you
you
got
just
that in
played,
your
I've never
collection
heard of.
You got that crap?
The Witch Doctor?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you had the good stuff, like Sigourney Weaver wanted last night.
I'm looking. I don't have the Witch Doctor. I'll have it soon.
Damn it. $10.99. We're not talking tax forms. We're talking on the poll. So I think 1,200 is easily within your grasp. In fact, to deny 1,200 a day would be ludicrous. Only
definitely.
a fool would say that. Speaking of fools, Drew Lieberman had that story about him yesterday, and it just keeps getting worse. On Sunday's Face the Nation, Senator Drew Lieberman recommended an attack on Iran to get their leaders to play by the rules. Let's bomb them. Let's kill them. Let's nuke them. Yesterday, Fox News asked neocon Bill Kristol, who's a crazy person, editor of the Weekly Standard, about Lieberman's remarks. The neocon editor replied that when Lieberman was recently in Iraq, he was struck by the depth and breadth of Iranian involvement in helping the terrorists attack U.S. soldiers, and also that Iran is now helping not just their fellow Shia, but all kinds of groups, including Sunni al-Qaeda-related groups, who are attacking U.S. soldiers. Does that mean that there's planning on the table, or does it make it a lot easier for the administration to consider it? Kristol was asked. It sure does, he responded, as Fox ran the banner, "Showdown with Iran is an attack with the Islamic Republic imminent." Kristol then said that an anti-war Democratic congressman had recently called him and said he would support tougher measures against Iran, suggesting the possibility of a bipartisan consensus for military action. General Peter Pace, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, whose replacement was announced on Friday, raised doubts last February about whether the Iranian government was really involved in arming Iraqi insurgents. Fox News, however, did not report on Pace's remarks at that time, because it's not good for business, it's not good for the party line. See? So instead, we bring a couple of right-wing lunatics like Bill Kristol and Drew Lieberman and put their crap on the air. Bada beep, bada boop, bada like that. Let's get involved in another war. Let's sacrifice a whole bunch more people. So help me God, if there are more food pictures in these links over here, I'm closing the IM.
Brandon.
Let's see. Oh, no, it's... It's a church sign, and it says, "Tonight, the Neil Rogers Will reading by George Rodriguez." Oh, boy. That's a beautiful thing. Now, what else have we got? We got another one? Probably the same crap. Same thing. Tonight, the Neil Rogers Will reading, The Lady of Martyrs Catholic Church. See, I made it to church after all. And George is going to do the reading of the will. He'll be jumping up and down a little bit. And then when he gets to the end and sees his name is all of a sudden missing. 1,100 even on the poll now. You're at 11. Excited?
Very.
Thrilled.
And just as I said that, I dropped all these stacks of stuff. There's a slit here between the bottom of the board.
What word did you say?
Counter, a slit. And so you're going to have to talk about David Chase while I get on my hands and knees.
This is going on all day long. I'd like to finish a thought over here about the
Go
guy.
ahead.
What a faker he is, and how unacceptable it is that he did that. Just end it. He didn't have to kill Tony, you know, and he still could have left it open for a movie and just done something. The whole freaking episode was a waste of time. 40 minutes into it, this is everybody, Josh even said this, 40 minutes into it, you're checking your watch, your clock, and you see that nothing has happened yet, and you're thinking, oh man, that means that nothing is going to happen. And how delicious would have been if AJ had gotten popped. And why'd they have to kill freaking Bobby Bacala? He was our favorite character. You watched it, don't you, Chris?
No.
Bobby Bacala.
Never seen
He was
one
great. He was the nicest mobster you ever saw.
Well, I'll take your word for it because I never watched the show.
Right.
Bill Rogers got.
If you've got tuberculosis, then don't fly. Stay home if you've got blood coming from your eye. If you're feverish and fluggy and you're coughing up the loogie, you might have tuberculosis, so don't fly. If you've got tuberculosis, then don't fly. You'll need a vacation if you're about to die. If you've got a killer headache, you don't want to start an outbreak, you might have tuberculosis, so don't fly. I'm dying over here. If you've got tuberculosis, then don't fly. Don't need to spread your germs from a mile high. Because you're made of bad decisions, stay home, contact your physician. You might have tuberculosis, so don't fly. If you've got tuberculosis, then don't fly.
Oi!
If you've got symptoms you can't identify. If you're sweating while you're sleeping and your skin feels like it's creeping, you might have tuberculosis, so don't fly. If you've got tuberculosis, then don't fly. Cause there's no earthly way you can justify a trip to see or an iris. If you've got a deadly virus, you might have tuberculosis, so don't fly. If you've got tuberculosis, then don't fly. If you don't think you will live until July, find a mirror and have a look. Stay in bed and read the good book. You might have tuberculosis, so don't fly. If you've got tuberculosis, then don't fly. Cause there's no big hurry if you're gonna die. If you've discovered a blister, stay home with your mom and sister. You might have tuberculosis, so don't fly.
26 to 1 at 560 WQM. Jim Mandich will be here this afternoon at 2, even though he's not getting paid. Now, did you just make that up, Chris, to be an Ojean provocateur?
No, he said that on the show yesterday.
He said on the air he can't get any money out of these bastards. Is that what he said?
Pretty much.
And Chicken Neck is going through this again now.
Right.
They owe him how much? Like $1,200?
$2,400.
$2,400?
That's what he said.
To a guy like that, that's like about $10 million.
Right.
To a schlepper like him, that's like about $50 million. $2,400 and they can't come up with it?
Oh, I'm sure they could come up with it.
But they won't.
They don't wanna.
And they don't. How about paying your people? We don't wanna. We don't wanna.
Well, he's not really an employee anyway, and we don't really believe in the stuff that he's doing anyway, and we don't see why it's important to the show anyway, and we don't really see the value of it anyway. And what's it got to do with sports?
Sounds anymore.
Really?
Ain't no fun sounds like before.
He better damn well get paid this week, or I just might not come back from vacation at all, you know what? You might have a lot of time to talk about that idiot David Chase.
Great. Or I'll just play music, too, and protest.
That's a good idea.
In between talking about David Chase. I'd like to chase him down the street with a baseball bat.
Canada's most influential newspaper reports that Australian Prime Minister John Howard, who's a real fascist, by the way, he's another George Bush wannabe, may have convinced Canada to end its longtime support for the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. For 23 years, Canada was a staunch supporter of the declaration, but in May of last year, Mr. Howard visited Ottawa, and the Toronto Globe and Mail says things began to happen within days. The newspaper is quoting unnamed political sources saying Mr. Howard convinced another fascist, Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper, during his visit, that the declaration would be problematic. Mr. Harper issued an edict that Canada no longer supports the declaration, choosing to ignore advice to the contrary coming from 3 government departments. But the paper also reports that a spokeswoman for Mr. Harper says there's no truth to the accusation that Mr. Howard influenced Canada's position on the declaration. Australia and Canada, alongside the U.S. and Russia, have been lobbying intently to have the UN General Assembly scuttle the declaration, which has already been approved by the UN's Human Rights Council. The rights of indigenous peoples. How do you like that? Bastards. Who's this Arab propagandist? Oh, she's from
national institutions.
Palestinian.
Who do you
blame
for the fighting? Pardon?
Who do you blame for the fighting?
I think I blame both sides.
Well, good for you. There's a good answer for you. If she don't look like a terrorist, nobody does. You know what? She's got that Middle Eastern dangerous look about her, and she looks very butch.
That big nose like you people have.
She looks like she's not. She's a Palestinian, man.
You people, you Middle Easterners, you
she's
Semites.
She's a sand person.
Right. All you Middle Easterners have them big noses.
Yeah. She looks like an ugly guy. I mean, doesn't it go without saying that a woman that looks like an ugly guy is an ugly woman? I mean,
yeah, that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Now, which of the 40,000 Paris Hilton articles do you want to hear first?
Oh, the one about the herpes. Oh, you already did that one. Damn.
Yeah. I could read it again. In fact, I could Google it. There's only about 60,000 articles about does Paris have herpes, you know? In her
rectum.
Posterior.
In her interior.
Stephen Elliott in The Smirking Chimp writes, Paris the hero. He says, sometimes I think Paris Hilton is a hero. I watch the news, I see the willowy blonde staring from the squad car window, face like a painting. Then I hear about overcrowded jails, a corrupt L.A. sheriff, and a two-tiered legal system. It doesn't bother me that it takes Paris Hilton to draw attention to these issues. Well, it does, but this is America and you have to accept certain things. If anything, the Paris Hilton story breaks all the rules of celebrity journalism in that it is actually about something. It's about money and the kind of privilege money can buy, the kind of things that aren't supposed to be for sale, like justice. It's about the California penal system broken under Pete Wilson and Craig Davis's regimes, where cheap slogans like tough on crime took over the space reserved for intelligent analysis and were rammed through the state legislature or put on ballot initiatives where they became law. Pete Wilson was going to run for president, and Gray Davis's prime constituency was the prison guards union, followed by the victims' rights groups. If you were to visit a prison like the L.A. County Prison in Lancaster, you'd see medium security prisoners, most drug offenders, stuck in endless bunks in what was supposed to be a recreational area. I visited Lancaster in 2005. There were only a few feet before the walls, a bank of TV screens, open toilets, guard with a gun walking on a metal plank 20 feet above. The bunks were in 2 or 3 tiers, and the prisoners were only outside 1 hour a day. These people are serving years in the most horrendous, overcrowded conditions imaginable, and it's costing taxpayers huge sums of money. There's a PR campaign underway to paint Paris Hilton's punishment as harsh, as if she was being penalized for being a celebrity. Sheriff Baca even pointed to her harsh sentence when defending his decision to release her after 3 days. In fact, the sentence isn't harsh. This was not her first time being pulled over driving recklessly since her license had been suspended. She was given repeated warnings and pulled over in at least 3 separate counties. She had a signed document in her glove compartment stating she knew she was not allowed to drive. She had the resources to hire a full-time driver. Most people in her situation are forced to drive on a suspended license just to get to work, thanks to General Motors' early dismantling of the L.A. public transit system. There are those that say the sheriff was within his jurisdiction to release Paris early, but surely he could have found another prisoner to release, one whose sentence didn't specifically state that she could not serve any part of her sentence under house arrest. This is about class warfare of the kind the rich have been waging on the poor. This is about separate and unequal. This is about a generation of poor stripped of political power in jail or on parole. And Paris Hilton has got America talking about these things. Paris has become an unlikely hero. She didn't even try. Her well-cared-for golden hair is shining a bright spotlight on the ever-increasing disparity between the rich and the poor. Perhaps when Paris is released for real, she'll travel the country speaking to these issues, now that she's found God. She'll lobby Congress against mandatory sentencing guidelines, 3 strikes laws that target nonviolent criminals, the absurdity of ballot initiatives that cost more money while removing layers of judicial oversight, such as the absurdly named Gang Violence and Juvenile Crime Prevention Act. So I want to take this moment to thank Paris Hilton for bringing these important issues back to the American conversation and the media for its excellent coverage of the events as they unfolded. Can a person be a hero even when they don't mean to be? Even while crying for their mother, taken away in chains? I guess it depends on your definition, but I don't see why not. Writes Stephen Elliott.
Good one.
On the smirking chimp. In other words, you bitch. Or to be a little bit more specific, and I'm sure I can find it.
You bitch, you slut, you whore.
Bye-bye, Cindy, Cindy, bye-bye. Thanks for trying and wasting your time. I can't blame you for saying I've had it. Everyone's brains are washed automatically. What they care more about American Idol and getting spoon-fed mindless vile. They won't know till it hits home for them. Cindy, go home and relax, girl. Why even try?
Bye-bye, Cindy. 1247 at 560 WQAM. I was almost going to start singing bomb, 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 bomb around, but I don't have the energy to do it. Thanks to that macaroni and cheese. God, that stuff made me so sick. Oh, you can't even begin to imagine.
I've been through it before with you, son.
With what?
With what when you eat and you make yourself sick. If I had a dime, I'd have $1.50. You do it all the time.
Why didn't you tell me that before I started eating it?
Okay, right. That would have stopped
When
you.
I said I had just put it in the...
if anyone has the ability to stop a fat person from eating, I'd like to know what method they use.
I'll tell you one, it works every time.
Yeah, all right. I don't have that good aim.
No comment.
You're far.
That is the worst swill ever invented. Oh, is that bad stuff. And it goes to show you if you can make it, you feel that bad, that fast. And the reason it's doing it is because when you have diabetes,
right?
One thing you don't do is eat carbs under stress, like when you're working, or like if you were playing the machines at the Woodbine, like that. You don't eat. It'd be like eating a Snickers bar while you're playing the slots. Because the added stress sends your blood sugar skyrocketing. In fact, I'm going to let you talk about David Chase for a minute. I'm going to go in the other room real quick.
I told the witch doctor I was
All
in
right,
love with
David
you.
Segal.
I'll do that.
I knew it.
I told
All right, I'll
the
be
witch
right
doctor
back.
I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said that... I told the witch doctor you didn't love me true. I told the witch doctor you
I remember it like it was just yesterday. It was on a green label, Liberty Records. And you know who else was on Liberty Records? Patience and Prudence.
Well, then you remember the year, right?
No. 59.
No,
58.
close. 58. You got it.
Well, there you go.
All right, 58.
Boy, am I a genius or what? Even I'm pricking my finger right now.
What word did you say?
You heard exactly what I said. Okay. I took my little stylus here.
It just felt like a prick.
That's right.
What did it look like?
Well, it didn't look like anything. I got to do it again. I can't get any blood out. This is bad. This is a bad sign. Oh, there's a big glob. Okay. There's a big glob of blood. Now, let me
Jeez, you're going to break your meter.
Won't that be bad? And you know something? Nothing happened. It didn't work.
Yeah, you pricked your finger and nothing happened?
Oh, jeez. And the little strips, cost damn near $1 a piece. They cost like 88 cents a piece. There's $1 down the toilet. And for me, I can handle that.
Why don't you stick it in your vein?
But for you guys, yeah, play Carly Salmon and You're So Vain. Come on,
coming right
I
up.
dare you. It's not working. Oh, there it goes. You're right. For a second there, I thought maybe you were right. I busted the meter.
Son of a gun.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's bad. It's, you want me to tell you the number? People are going to plots.
I don't know what the number's supposed to be, so why don't you know.
The number should be like, right now, maybe 120, 100, 130.
Yeah.
Let's see. 16.9 times 18 is what? 15 is 270. 288. Oh, that's about 300. That's very bad. That's bad. Neil Sedaka, bad blood.
Sugar?
Diabetes. Where did that term ever come from?
Nah, but it was you.
Sugar diabetes.
You didn't want to hear more.
Here's a picture. I'm going to drink the picture Brandon sends me of Alka-Seltzer Plus Cherry. I didn't know they made it in flavors.
Yeah,
that's what I need right now. Cherry Burst. You think Ellen Burstyn is bursting? I'm bursting all over. 11:34. Maybe you might have had a shot at something more. I think 1200 sounds just fine. Let's play it safe today.
Exactly.
The last thing I need to do is have a lot more stress during that big 1 to 2 hour. In fact, I'm thinking during the 1 to 2 hour, we're going to alternate between playing Read a Book, Read a Mother Scratching Book, The Witch Doctor, and George bitching about David, what's his name, Chase.
Right.
God. Barack Obama's pissed off. He says President Bush's nominee to the FEC, the Federal Elections Commission, is more interested in denying voters' rights than expanding enfranchisement and should not be installed on a panel tasked with ensuring fair elections. You go, Barack. You notice, though, how they're going to, knock him down, and that is a racial thing, by the way. See, the people that are always screaming racial thing, they're full of crap.
Yeah, they're going to use that, but the real thing is that they don't want him to win because he's good.
Right, because he's not a shill.
He's not a corrupt, bought-off shill.
Like Hillary. That's right. Obama says Hans von Spakovsky's partisan influence within the Justice Department Civil Rights Division and his prior roles as a Republican appointee make him unfit for the job. Individuals named to the commission should have demonstrated a record of fair administration of the law and an ability to overcome partisan biases, Obama wrote to the chair and ranking member of the Senate Rules Committee. Unfortunately, Mr. von Spakovsky's experience does not demonstrate the even-handedness required of an FEC commissioner. Obama cited Van Spakovsky's role in creating a Georgia voter ID law, which career Justice Department lawyers determined would create undue hardship for black voters. Federal and state courts eventually overturned Van Spakovsky and found the program unconstitutional. Let me say it again. Unconstitutional. The Illinois senator and Democratic presidential candidate also noted Van Spakovsky's reported role in overriding objections of Justice Department lawyers to what critics say were politically motivated decisions to approve a redistricting plan in Texas. As the Goyim say in the South, Kashmir and Texas. According to it, isn't that what the Goyim say in Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana? Kashmir and Texas? According to a 2004 New Yorker article, Van Spakovsky was the administration's chief operative on voting rights, and prior to serving in government, he was the architect of an idea at purging felons from voter rolls that led to the mistaken disenfranchisement of thousands of mostly Democratic voters in Florida before that awful 2000 election. You call that an election? I call that an abortion. President Bush appointed Van Spakovsky to the commission in January 2006 using another of his infamous recess appointments, which allows him to temporarily delay his requirement to subject nominees for congressional approval. And the beat goes on. More fixed elections, more fascism, more of the same. And thank you, Mr. President, by the way, for those low bargain basement gas prices and that really strong American dollar. Not. You think I'm sick now? Wait till I take a look over here at the Business Channel and see what the Canadian dollar is worth today. Oh, it's going to make me puke, I'm telling you right now. I can feel it welling up in my pupik, man. It's coming back at me, as Rick Riley would say. How's he doing, by the way? Hopefully not too well.
I don't know.
1138 on the poll. I think we got 1,200 licked. The Dow's down 63. You see, when Rick Riley started talking about what is fair value, fair value is +3. When he started doing his stock market stuff, that's the point that even the people who liked him, and there weren't too many, even they began to say, "Are you kidding me?" Isn't that what they said?
Twice.
In fact, I'm not really sure we can...
Oh, Jesus, are you f***ing kidding me?
Oh, look at that. The Canadian dollar's under 94 cents. It's 93.98. What a bargain. When I came up here 5 years ago, it was 62 cents. Now it's almost 94 cents. Almost 94 freaking cents. You know what that does to a poor schlepper like me? Tears my kishkis out. Maybe that's why my innards feel like they're ready to fall off.
Here's this Scott Farrell. And when I'm up in Boca Chica slapping old women with painted lips around the pool,
I listen to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hour.
I listen to the Neil Rogers Fair and Balanced 1 to 2 hour.
The ideas are bigger and even more bizarre.
Well, I mean that a defeat in Iraq will embolden the enemy.
And more outrageous ideas.
And I think the world would be better off if we did leave. If we left, the world would be worse. The world is better off with us not leaving.
You are crazy.
George Foreman joins American Inventors.
Imports come from overseas.
Season premiere Wednesday only on ABC.
I think I know what his problem is. As a child, he was fed too much stuff for his macaroni and cheese, man. It's a killer. No wonder the Pope is like that. Didn't the Catholics always eat macaroni and cheese on a Friday?
Yes, they did.
For years and years and years. And look what it did. It fried their brains. Although some people like fried brains. Yummy. 1 o'clock at 560 WQM. I think George is going to be doing a David Chase Rip Hour from 1 to 2.
Oh, man. Rip week.
Because I'm ready to pass out from that one. Why did you let me do that, either one of you? Why did you allow it?
Because you were out of reach, or I would have physically restrained you. I would have thrown the cheese and the macaroni.
You know my
cheese
sugar,
out the
I took
window.
it again. It's up to 344 now. Do you have any idea? That's like,
No, I have no idea what that means.
That's more than 200 points high.
Thanks, Brandon.
What the hell's he got to do with it?
He's the one that got you started on that.
Oh, he's the one yesterday got me to go to the store, and after I ate a Taco Bell, I went to my Dominion, which is right there.
He stimulated your appetite.
I got ice cream bars. If I told you what I ate yesterday, you would just pass out.
Yeah, probably.
You would. You'd fall on the floor and you'd say, "Oh, no more, no more." It's like suicide. It's like slow suicide. And the excuse being, "Oh, I'm addicted." Well, don't buy it then. Don't eat it. Don't buy it. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. Don't look at pictures of it. I'm taking this one last time. Oh boy, 358.
Great. Rhymes with.
I'm dying over here.
Rhymes with that. So if I'm a little less coherent than ordinary, damn good thing I got that vacation coming up. I won't have any bad influences.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Now he sends me a message. You better not eat some at Woodbine tomorrow. See, that just planting the seed there again. I mean, I think what about 3 years I've been going to Woodbine, okay, losing my ass there. And all the time I've been going, I had the macaroni and cheese twice. Once in a while, I'll go up and get a slice or two of pizza, pepperoni pizza, and I take a plastic fork and I just eat the cheese and pepperoni, and I throw away the crust. I only eat a drop of the crust. Yeah. Which is okay. But the real culprit in this was that I was unprepared. No microwavable bacon this morning. No bacon, period. Because that stuff has got no carbs, and it's like it doesn't affect your blood sugar at all. It's got a lot of nitrates, and nitrates will give you cancer, things like that. But hey, nothing's perfect, you know. So not having that gave me the excuse, since I knew this was in the freezer. See, that's the one thing about Hank, I'll admit, not having any food in the house. When you're a big fat pig like he is and like I am, and like all other fat people are, if you have food around, unlike people who aren't really addicted to food, if you have food around, guess what?
You're going to eat it?
Right. That's correct. I'll tell you, after I had the Taco Bell, I had the Gordita and the Burrito Supreme with no beans.
Yeah, you should have had the Flaquita.
Oh, I think I've got that now. in the chair. I think I'm going to have to wear the Flaquita jacket to do the show tomorrow. But you don't want me to tell you this because it's too embarrassing. But you know me, I have no embarrassment factor. That's why I work for these people who don't pay their bills. I bought a box, a generic box. I don't even know what the brand was. It wasn't any, like some local Canadian brand. They looked pretty good on the picture on the box, and they were good. 5 ice cream bars, chocolate-covered strawberry ice cream. Okay?
All right.
Not diet, not with sorbitol, anything like that. Guess how many of the 5 I ate during the course of the afternoon yesterday?
5.
Right. And then...
Wait, there's more.
Capped it all off with the first installment of the Stouffer's macaroni and cheese. I guess that's why I didn't know how bad it was, because I was already so sick from eating all the other stuff that it had no impact, you know. Where there's no taste, where there's no sense, there's no feeling, something like that. Wow. Fitzgerald wants Libby jailed. Now, see, I'm not going to be able to read these stories because I'm, like, incoherent now. My blood sugar is, like, going to go over 400 now, which I couldn't possibly do this last hour with that. So should I call in sick or what? We can play the Witch Doctor and read a book. No, I'll get through it.
Good.
Maybe and maybe not. Maybe before the end of the hour I'll be going,
I'm dying over here.
This might be it. Brent Badowski on the Smirking Chimp. Well, I told you we had like 100 more Paris stories. Mm-hmm. Then I got that story about that Haitian kid that weighed 35 pounds. That just makes me wild when I read stuff like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it again. Biologically, just about any people can make babies, okay? Any male and female, over a certain age, under a certain age, can make babies. It doesn't require any great skill. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Maybe it's a thrill, but it ain't really taking no skill. But it's another thing to be responsible, and that's why I've been screaming for years about forced sterilization. That's the answer. That's the only hope in the world. Forced sterilization. And I'm going to be the director of emissions. I'm going to decide who can reproduce and who's going to get cut. Like in football camp, you know? Don't they make cuts at camp?
Cut!
Right.
Yeah. Brent
Badowski, Paris Hilton, the queen of cable television, on the Smirking Chimp. Do I have time to read this before the break? Because I'm going to be reading it fairly incoherently. So excuse me up front. Well, it's only not that long.
I'll excuse you out back.
Give credit where it's due. Paris Hilton has just achieved a domination over cable news that was so total for a period it bordered on monopoly. The urgent Marine Corps request from the front lines for life-saving equipment has been 90% ignored since 2005. This cost American lives but received no coverage compared to Paris. Medical experts now forecast a huge increase in Alzheimer's, while biotech companies may find breakthrough treatments, but Paris Hilton overwhelmed it all. Over 1 billion people on Earth, mostly women and children in poor countries, are sick and dying because they can't even get water or basic sanitation. You don't hear about this on cable, even without Paris, but with their latest conquest of the media, they don't have a prayer. Paris into the jail. Paris outside the jail. Paris in her car. Paris crying. Paris laughing. Paris modeling. Paris here, there, and everywhere. In the coming months, Paris will find God or support the troops or punch a photographer or write a best-selling book or get a multi-million-dollar deal for a new reality show or find Donald Trump. Probably all of them. Each move a new conquest of the cable medium. She owns them. They are putty in her hands. They'll fall to their knees every time she makes her next move in the Paris Hilton business, a bull market. You heard it here. Within the year, there will be a fourth cable news network or an invasion of one of the little three. It'll appeal to the tens of millions of more progressive Americans who, except for Keith Olbermann, are non-persons in the current cable configuration. It'll appeal to the women who are not allowed their rightful share of cable hosting, even though they are a majority of voters and spenders. It'll appeal to African Americans who have less representation as hosts than a recently fired host who made trite racist comments. It'll appeal to the huge growing demographic of Hispanics who don't even exist among the little three cables, except as pictures and objects often unfriendly during the immigration debate. In the meantime, Paris wants it all. She goes for the gold, and she gets it. She is the queen of cable news, the Bill Gates of MSNBC, the Rupert Murdoch of Fox, the new Ted Turner of CNN. They worship at her altar while the rest of us look for something else to watch. The winds of change are in the air. Remember where you heard it first. Writes Brent Badowski. Butt out, Brent, on Smirking Chimp. He's good. How's Chris doing with that poll today? See if I got enough energy to turn my head to the side? Oh, just barely. I think I'm a little off-kilter here. My head's starting to spin a little bit, like Linda Blair. 1,153 votes. Could you have a relationship with a girl if she had sex with you on the first date? That's the poll question. Yeah, what's wrong with that? 867, 75.1%. Obviously the correct answer. Although, what would I know about such things, you know? What do I know about heterosexual dating?
Right.
And mating? And things like that. Things of that nature, you know? The old slide the pepperoni, all stuff like that. 75.1% say, yes, what's wrong with that? Hell yeah, she'd be a change of pace for my blow-up doll, 105. And I believe those. I believed it then, and I believe it now. Mm-hmm. No, that makes her a slut, 98. 8.4% agree with Josh Cordes, who's in the very, very small minority on this. That makes her a slut. I would think it would make her very desirable. But then again, like I said, what do I know? I'm a girl who likes sex on the first date, 42. And I'm a girl who won't date any guy who wants sex on the first date, 41. Kind of even, Stephen. That's like 7.1%. Aren't you amazed that 7% of the audience, at least in this poll, is like ladies?
I'm impressed.
Now, if we could just see that in the Arbitron, we'd have like a real number, you know, persons 2554. And by the way, how come I never saw that, Clarence? How come when the trends came out last Thursday, I never got to see even like a snapshot of our persons 2554? Because, you know, if you double the number, you can get close to what the men number is going to be.
Right.
We know that. But for some reason, we never got that. And you can be sure that Clarence is out to a 3-4 hour lunch now.
This is the most disgusting program. I urge everyone to complain to this station.
I had a chick named Kay. One day she flew away to Tijuana where the moon is blue. The moon is blue. But with our right-wing censorship, there are words that mustn't slip to truly tell you how I feel for Kay. So, if you see Kay in Tijuana, and I'll see you in Tijuana too. Now if you see Kay, tell her I miss her each day, and the FCC won't let me sing this song I wrote today. Now if you see Kay, take her hand, gently say that after this transmission I'll be out in 90 days. Oh, if you see Kay in Tijuana, then I'll see you in Tijuana. Don't wanna go, but gotta see you in Tijuana too. I'm dying over here.
115 at 560 WQM. I'll survive, man, just because my blood sugar is 364, whatever it is right now. I'll survive. Just because it's 230 or 40 points too high. It's because I get bad advice all the way around. I'm just blaming it on other people, you know. What did I say last week, Chris? Don't blame it on everybody else. Look in the mirror. See the source. Nobody force-fed that. Nobody put that macaroni into my little basket at the store, you know?
Oh, I thought you said blame everybody else.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Blame everybody else. Find a scapegoat. Nobody put that in my basket. Nobody in the middle of the show decided to stick it in the microwave and nuke it and get it nice and really, which it never got like that anyway. You know what gets like that?
What?
Around the edges.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the inside edge of the container?
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of it inside is like all mushy, you know? It's all like too buttery, you know? Like, I don't know what the hell they do, but it's not good. So as much as you hate Kraft, I hate Stouffer's, okay?
All right. No problem.
Despise. I'm revolted by them. I recoil from the thought of them. But nevertheless, I recoil from the thought of this story, too. And to think I ate all that food yesterday and this poor little kid up in Port St. Lucie. And by the way, Greg from Port St. Lucie, everybody on this show still hates you like poison, including the audience. And don't ever go on my MySpace page again. Stay the hell away. Wonder what happened to my friend, the Serbian stallion. Anyway, Port St. Lucie, the boy looked so frail, Eula Gibson at first thought him a ghost. A ghost! She looked a second time at the tiny face peeping through her front window. She rushed to the door. And when I hear that peeping, you know, reminds me that we can't play this bit, as funny as it is.
Peeping through the keyhole, watching Mom and Dad.
But anyway, well, we can't play anything if it's funny. Now, that's basically what Joyce said. When you ask for what the guideline is, if it's funny, don't play it. Standing on the rose-colored cobblestone steps on her porch was an emaciated boy wrapped in a blanket. He wore clothes but no shoes. Gibson guessed he was about 6. She asked him where his mother was. He said he didn't know. The boy said he was hungry, and Gibson led him into her house, unsure where he'd come from or how long he'd gone without food, and she called the police. In fact, the boy wasn't 6. He was 10 years old but weighed only 35 pounds, police said. Less than half what a boy his age should weigh. 35 pounds. My ass weighs that much, okay?
Rectum.
35 pounds. Yesterday, the boy, who is still yet to be identified, remained under care at Palms West Hospital in Loxahatchee, while his mother, Killeen Auguste, appeared before a St. Lucie County judge. Auguste, 37, mother of 9 children, and expecting her 10th. I know we had the story yesterday, but this is more on it. Don't you think this merits a...
more on it.
Moron. Expecting her 10th, was arrested on suspicion of felony child neglect, but is yet to be formally charged. She was being held yesterday at the St. Lucie County Jail on $150,000 bail. Police officials said 2 of her 9 children are adults, but that the remaining 7 are in the custody of the State Department of Children and Families until the case is sorted out. My heart has been touched by that child, said Gibson, who phoned police around 3 p.m. Saturday. Now, like many of her neighbors, Gibson is trying to understand how the quiet family in this well-kept working-class neighborhood could be at the center of such a horrific child welfare case. Remember what I said about forced sterilization? Uh-huh. I never met Auguste. I don't know who she is, Gibson said. I just don't understand how something like this could happen. Port St. Lucie Police Department spokesman Robert Vega said he's not releasing the arrest report because the case is under investigation, but he said Auguste's other children did not appear to be malnourished. One of Auguste's children, a 12-year-old known as Prince, frequently played at the home of neighbor John Hess, whose own 12-year-old son had become good friends with him. My son is probably the closest of anyone I know to the family. I never thought there was any kind of neglect or abuse going on, Hess said. Prince is a real nice kid and seemed healthy. Everyone was just blown away when we heard about what happened. Well, maybe he was the odd kid out, you know? Maybe they didn't like him.
Maybe he was the red-headed stepchild.
I don't think he's red-headed.
Did you check?
No. You check. Neighbors said sometime Saturday afternoon the 10-year-old boy left the home at 940 Southwest Versailles Avenue and began knocking on doors asking for food. Somehow he made it across the street, either around the corner through the yard of a neighborhood home to land on Cornelia Avenue and Gibson's front porch. The good Lord sent him my way, she said. The good Lord. The same good Lord that led him to get in that shape in the first place. Gibson said she asked the boy if he was allergic to peanuts, and he said no. She made him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and poured him a large glass of orange juice before calling, oh, and I think I'm sick? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a big glass of orange juice. Oh, man. Can you even begin to imagine all of that, like percolating and congealing in the middle of somebody's pupik? He wasn't filthy or nothing. He was just very thin, Gibson said. He seemed very thirsty. He wasn't filthy or nothing. Onipe August, O-N-I-P-E, Onipe, or is that Onape?
No comment.
August, ex-husband, said he was shocked to learn of his former wife's arrest and the boy's ill health. Onipe August said he has only one child with the woman, a 6-year-old girl, now with her siblings under state care. He said he's not involved in his daughter's life, hasn't spoken to his ex-wife in more than a year before she moved from West Palm Beach to the beige single-story home she now rents in Port St. Lucie, less than 3 miles from him. FDLE records show Colleen August, a Florida native, has received only traffic violations. Onape said he pays $348 a month in child support to August and said he didn't know whether she was having money problems. I mean, how could she be having money problems? She's only got like 9.5 kids. Onape said he remembers the boy as being very slender, even when he was involved with his mother more than 6 years ago. He said he remembers the boy was called V, but couldn't remember his name. Hey, V. I mean, is that 35 pounds at 10 years old? That just doesn't seem right. Onape August said that can't be. Said Onape, and you know what? It is. Hey, V. Say hi to Onape. How about Wanape? Or Canopy?
Yeah.
You know, that would have been better for lunch than that macaroni and cheese, I'll tell you right now.
Canopies.
One thing I've discovered about people who are not diabetic, they know nothing about diabetes.
Right.
And so they take it all it's all a big joke. See?
It is a joke.
It's a big joke. Oh, get some of that ice cream. Get some macaroni. Like this. And it's just they don't get it. And when you're diabetic and your blood sugar gets like way up high, and especially if you're trying to like work or do something physically demanding at a given time, like walk, you just can't do it. Because you get like logy, you have no energy. It saps the energy from your body. And the fact that Chris allowed me to do that, you're gonna see if you don't cut the crap, you're gonna be diabetic. Then you're gonna be really sorry, and you're gonna say, "Oh, I wish I'd listened to that old fag. He was right." I mean, you got a good start there. You lost what, about 1.5 ounces, something like that? You lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And then what happened? How long ago did you lose the 30 pounds?
It's been going on for about the past year, I guess. And then...
what does that mean, it's been going on for the past year? I've been like an affair or something?
No, I've been working to lose it over the past year. And I just got a new treadmill because one that we had died, so I'm getting back into it again. Yeah. Is that an answer to my question or what? You asked when did I lose it. Oh, look at that. Came down a point. That's because I took a peel. I figured I'm not going to risk having a stroke here on air. I already did that once at IOD. I'm not going to do that again. Not for these people. Not people who don't pay their bill, so I took a peel. You know what I'm saying?
So you won't be ill?
And so I can just kind of chill.
How you feel?
Like crap. The audience is thinking, boy, especially after I gave the rundown. I was doing so well, too, until yesterday, until all those pictures of all the food came on there. And I'm not blaming Brandon, I'm blaming myself. I allowed myself to be a weakling, a 189-pound weakling, Back when I was a kid, Charles Atlas used to have I don't know what it was for, health spa, magazines, I don't know what it was for. Don't be a 100-pound weakling or stuff like that, and be more like Charles Atlas, Mm-hmm. And I decided to be more like gay, like that. And that worked out okay. Worked out just fine for me. Are you sending me these faxes, or are these
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Here we go again. A whole bunch of priest faxes. Oh, brother. The priest of a northern Michigan parish will be in court today after being caught in an illegal sex act over a week ago. Wienislaw Marzinski, 42, and Richard Jacquish, 51, were arrested by state police in a public park off Keystone Road near Traverse City, Michigan. According to police, the two men were engaged in a sex act. Marzinski has been the priest at St. Mary's in Hannah, a small parish near Kingsley, since 2001. The priest, originally from Poland, has now been put on administrative leave by the Diocese of Gaylord. What is it, the Diocese of Gaylord? Is there a comma in there? Marzinski faces a misdemeanor charge of obscene conduct. Will be in court today. The other man was in court last week. The charge carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in the Huskow. And we got a whole bunch more of these pervert priest stories. Always some of my favorites, too, okay? Because you people continue subsidizing it.
Neil wakes me up in the morning. And then I tuck my pee-pee inside. Wearing my skin suit, munching on the gonad, with you ahead of my dial. Mommy, carefully placing my lotion in the basket. Neil makes me all nipperluckerless. Neil, 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 and
He's a wonder.
Neil, 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 Neil.
Neil, 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 and he's a wonder.
Neil, 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 Neil,
Neil, Neil, Neil, Neil, and he's a wonder.
Neil, 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 Neil. Neil, 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 and
Hey, ice cream lovers. First, there was Ben and Jerry. Now there's something new.
Hi, I'm Neil. And I'm Bob. Have a taste?
Yes, new Neil and Bob's Gourmet Ice Cream with exciting new flavors like Fudgicle Surprise, Blueberry, and Sorbet Hind. Neil and Bob's Gourmet Ice Cream.
Have a lick?
Okay, better ask and see if we can play that again. I sure doubt it. 131 and 560 WQM. I beg your pardon, because if you ask anything, the answer will be
no.
Whatever it is, we don't know, but no, you can't play it. Is it amusing? Well,
no.
Can't play it. Is it entertaining?
No.
Can't play it. Might somebody get a chuckle out of it?
No.
Can't play it. Bitch. So here's this list. This is the guy who's obsessed with all these stories about priests. Apparently. With all these isolated incidents, all 80 million of them. Albany. A 50-year-old Catholic priest who is a Cohoes native now living in Columbia County could be released on bond as early as today after a federal magistrate on Wednesday agreed to grant the accused bail. He awaits trial. See how that cheese is coming back up nicely. Awaits trial on charges he received and possessed computer images of child pornography. According to a federal prosecutor, Raymond Ethier, this print is so tiny I can barely read it. Is that right, Ethier?
Sure.
Of Hudson took part in a conversation over the internet with a Canadian just over a year ago, sparking an investigation that led Federal Department of Homeland Security officials to seize a computer from Ethier's home May 10 and recover images of child pornography. And it goes on. That one goes on forever. Well, that's enough of that. Spanish National Police arrested former Arizona priest Father George Washington Cordova Hernandez in Guadarrama, Spain, on charges of sexual abuse. Arizona Attorney General Terry Goddard announced yesterday. Guadarrama. The 51-year-old priest was accused in 2005 of sexually abusing two minors between 1988 and 91 when he was assigned to Francis of Assisi Parish in Yuma. Oh, Yuma, Arizona. I've been there. Remember I told you that story about driving to Yuma?
Mm-hmm.
And getting the call from Sid Levin and turning around coming back to Florida. And that's what started all this nonsense 31 years ago. Thanks, Sid. Cordova was then indicted on 10 counts of sex abuse, and a warrant was issued for his arrest, but he fled to his home diocese in Ecuador before police could arrest his ass. Various local and national law enforcement agencies, including U.S. Marshal Service, FBI, and Yuma Police, conducted a joint investigation leading to the arrest. He's going to be held in Spain until they can extradite his nasty ass. And, last and certainly not least, I'm sure, well, actually, certainly not last, there'll be lots more. A former priest at St. Peter's Catholic Church in Olney, Maryland, was arrested Wednesday on charges of sexually abusing a boy 28 years ago. William McSherry Stock, 63, of Parkland Drive in Aspen Hill, also had been arrested in May on charges of custodial child abuse that stemmed from an alleged incident in 1980. Stock served as associate pastor at St. Peter's from 1974 to 83. The investigation that led to the arrest began in June after police reported the first incident. Officers know that this type of sexual abuse is usually not a one-time, one-person occurrence. Police made the original arrest warrant so that other alleged victims knew an investigation was being conducted. The now 41-year-old male victim from Laytonsville was allegedly abused by Stock when the victim was 14. The victim reported that during a face-to-face confession with the priest at St. Peter's, the priest touched him inappropriately, probably down there. Oh, no. Approximately 2 weeks later, Stock drove the victim and other altar boys to the movies. During the movie, Stock sat next to the victim and touched him inappropriately, police reported. Probably down there. Oh, no. After the movie, the other boys were dropped off and the victim was left alone with the priest. The victim was then driven to the church where Stock asked for help with some boxes. As they entered a cloakroom, Stock again inappropriately touched and sexually assaulted the victim, police said. Stock was around. I wonder if he could appropriately touch and assault.
I'm sure there's a way.
Stock was arrested. You know what they say, George? Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's what I heard.
Stock was arrested on charges of child abuse, second-degree sex offense, and 4 counts of third-degree sex offense. being held at the Montgomery County Detention Center, $100,000 bond. And it goes on, he did this, he did that, he touched this, he touched that, bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop, and that's the name of that tune. Now, I want you to mark that spot on the tape, Chris, because I said, that's the name of that tune. I did not say June, I did not say cockamoon, I did not say coon or balloon, I said tune.
What'd you say?
You heard it, schmuck. I said putz.
Rhymes with?
Butts.
Okay.
And klutz. 1185 at a pull. You got your 1200 looked, although not as well. I haven't been pushing it because I knew we'd ease into 1200. Okay. I don't want to create a nasty situation there, where we had like 1240 or something like that, and then I always go, oh gee, if we had really pushed it, you could have like 1300. Why do we care about David Letterman's kid? Are we supposed to be paying attention?
I don't. Mention the ordeal on his show.
But I want to just take a second here to thank some people.
On Friday, Frank.
Yeah, hooray! Yeah. You know who are the worst people in the world? The people who sit in the audiences of these shows.
Oh, yeah.
They're always hooting and hollering and howling and puking, and you wonder, what is it that they're getting that I'm not? It's kind of like on that morning show we got, you know? You punch it up, and if we're not in commercial or weather or traffic or something, which we are most of the time, but if we're not in that, we're in the middle of all this tremendous hysterical laughter and puking, ho, 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 like that. Maybe it's Jolly Joe. Now that he knows that show is going off, he's laughing up his sleeve. So you think now, to whom have you brought the attention of this problem again? We just went through this last month with Chicken Egg.
Right, Clarence.
You brought it up to him again?
Yes.
And he said?
Bada boop, bada beep.
No, seriously, what did he say?
He said he would go and do something or nothing, as the case may be. He'd do what he can, and we know what that means.
Nothing.
There you go.
He's as useless. He is as useless.
Well, it ain't up to him. He doesn't write checks, as you know, so they ignore him the same way that they ignore everybody else.
He's as useless as breast on a rattlesnake.
I could use breasts on a rattlesnake. As a matter of fact, I think I know one.
Yeah, I was waiting. You notice how I lifted that pregnant pause? You probably must have thought I died or something like that, or at the very least swooned.
Yeah, I was getting my hopes up there.
My June swoon, yeah. I got news for you, man. I'm going to be around long after your ass is dead and
dirty. All that will talk.
Trust me when I tell you.
When I'm 65, that'll really come in handy.
Buy you a nice bag.
Sure, why not?
Maybe two. Gold-plated bag, and maybe even a gold-plated walker would be nice.
It's been brought to my attention that your ratings are dying now. Well, I ought to show you what a big asset I was to you and how. You thought you could find somebody good enough to fill my baggy pants? It ain't easy. There ain't no chance I'll ever be coming back. Outside of considering a lucrative contract. If you want to know what'll save you from shutting that transmitter down, why, that's easy. Sure.
All you need is more. All you need is more. All you need is a show to go blow.
If your old time slot only got you to thank, despite that my ratings have bottomed out in the tank. Which radio has a revolving door for the gayest of a whores and squeaky shack.
All you need is more.
Now see here.
All you need is more.
And the morning.
All you need is a show to go blow.
Get over here, you little muckhead. You'll find a way something.
Yeah?
Jack told me to give you this.
What?
This here. What are you going to do, fire me, huh?
Like old times.
Okay, 16:02 at 560 WQM. I think I can fake my way through the last 60 minutes.
Good.
Because you know me, I only mail it in anyway.
That's right.
For the last 50 years. I won't
hiding up there behind your skirt.
That's right. Oh, speaking of that, here's a fax. Here's a email on MySpace from Britannica, one of our MySpace. We have 1,432 friends in MySpace, by the way. 1,433, excuse me. 1,433. Pretty impressive number, I would say. I beg your pardon?
Pretty legendary.
Anyway, it says, I'm a little behind on listening to the show, so this comment is late, but I just heard what Bo Camper tried to claim about you. That is complete bullshit. I can't believe that anyone at the radio station or the Beasley Corporation would even accuse you of saying coon on the radio. I heard the show was very clear that you said doomed. Maybe these people should buy and use Q-tips. I feel terribly sorry for you, Josh and George, for having to work with that kind of swill and stupidity. At least you get paid on time, though. That's right, I get paid early. That's why everybody else gets paid late. Yin and yang, in and out. If you go to Woodbine this week, good luck with the machines, Mon. It says, P.S., stay away from that ice cream. See, here's a guy that's trying to save my ass. Thanks, Britannica B-nuts.
What happened to me?
What happened to you? You got fat.
Said you, Josh, and George.
They think you're Josh. You're still
He doesn't feel sorry for you, okay? Right. God helps those who help themselves. Are you knocking my MySpace friends now?
Never.
Bastard. 1193, let's see if we got that. Now, see, now they slow down. 1194, there's another one. You need 6 votes in 14 minutes now. Even a child should be able to do that. Even somebody without a MySpace page ought to be able to do that, but you never know. A Kurdish man was convicted in a London court on Monday of murdering his 20-year-old daughter in a so-called honor killing after she left her husband and fell in love with another man. That's like that guiding Shiite bit, you know?
What?
Banaz Mahmoud was strangled with a shoelace in her home in London. Her body was stuffed in a suitcase and taken some 120 miles to the city of Birmingham, where it was buried in a back garden of a house. Mahmoud, 52. Don't you think the Muslims could use a little name assistance?
They could use some extras.
Ordered his own daughter's murder with the help of his brother Ari Mahmoud, 51. The killing itself was carried out by their associate Mohammed Hama, 30.
About 30, man.
And 2 other suspects were still at large. The court had been told that Banaz had been forced to marry an Iraqi Kurd when she was 17, but the relationship collapsed. She returned to live with her parents in 2005, later falling in love with Rahmat Soleimani. Her family decided to kill her because they believed the relationship had brought dishonor on the family, as Soleimani was an Iranian Kurd and not a strict Muslim. Banaz's body was found April 2006, months after she was killed. Honor killings were almost unheard of in Britain until a few years ago, but police and prosecutors now estimate there are about a dozen such murders a year. Campaigners say that the issue was misunderstood and that the authorities have been unwilling to get involved for fear of upsetting cultural sensitivities in minority communities. Banaz had contacted police a number of times before her death, saying her life was at risk. No action was taken. They did like Santino, don't interfere. Remember that? Mama Corleone? Right. An inquiry is underway into the police handling of the case. I don't think I have loved anyone as much as I've loved Banaz, Suleiman said in a statement. She was my first love. She meant the world to me, and now she's dead. Mahmoud, Ari Mahmoud, and Hama will be sentenced at a later date, along with Shtuan Hama, 26, who admitted perverting the course of justice.
Huh?
That's P-S-H-T-E-W-A-N. That's what it is. Well, kind of like an Inju man where they don't have the big enough dowry, you know? I mean, you know, I guess in some cultures, if the guy ain't big enough, it doesn't depend on the girl's dowry.
Right.
Everybody's worried about size, you know, big boobs, big units, big this, big that, big dowries.
Big deal.
Hello, big. And he's dead. 1196, and it's not moving, man. I think Eric's got the emergency brake on you now. He's
Let's go, Eric.
Eric, get your foot off the brake, okay? I know that there are going to be 4 more votes on there for crying out loud.
We're trying to have a nice day here.
Now I know why he steps on the brake. He hates you. He just despises you. What is it you did there, Eric, to aggravate him? He's usually, you know,
I'm not
the last couple of years he's been 1198. You need only 2 Mo. All you need is 2 Mo. Could you have a relationship with a girl if she had sex with you on the first date? Yes, what's wrong with that? 898, 75%. They want it on the first date. They want it now, baby. And what's wrong with that? Hell yeah, she'd be a change of pace for my blow-up doll, 111. No, that makes her a slut, 108. Only 8.5%, Josh. 108. I'm a girl who won't date a guy who wants sex on the first date, 43. And I'm a girl who likes sex on the first date, 43. Even Steven. Well, there you go. Why don't you get the numbers in the last group there? I'm a girl who likes sex on the first date.
That was psychic. I just got handed the person's 2554. Isn't that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Coming at you.
7% women on this poll. Not that this means 7% of our audience is women, but that would sure be a big improvement. Usually it's like 1 or 2%. And we got our 1,200 votes right there. See? I gave it a little goose and bada bing. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, I thought this fax was going to be about the number.
No, here to come.
Oh. Police chief says butts caught in act. Marshalltown, Iowa. Marshalltown woman faces charges of stealing 3 rolls of toilet paper from the local courthouse and could get prison time. Whoa. Prison time for stealing toilet TP. Katie Piper from News Channel 8 caught up with a woman accused of stealing the toilet paper. Courthouse employees said they thought something was up. They said they seemed to go through a lot of toilet paper at the courthouse, said Marshalltown Police Chief Lon Walker. Marshalltown Police said one of the employees caught Suzanne Marie Butts of Marshalltown taking the 2-ply from the women's bathroom and called police. Well, maybe she had to wipe her butts.
Both of them?
Yeah, all 3 of them. The courthouse parking lot attendant said he knew about toilet paper going missing. I've heard they call it the toilet paper caper, said parking lot attendant Gene Syme. The toilet paper caper. I wonder if Robert Wagner is going to be starring in a movie about that. Every movie he's in, there's always some kind of a caper. Remember that awful, what was that TV show he was on?
To Catch a Thief?
Yeah. The caper.
I like capers.
Ugh. Butts told News Channel 8 it was the first time she'd stolen toilet paper that her attorney said not to talk. He told me not to ask any questions till he's with me, Butts said. And what she's probably thinking, if they don't like it, let them wipe their ass with it, or something like that. Now, are these numbers you're sending me here? Oh, boy, it's going to be a ways down before we get to QAM.
Sure.
Well, let me do the break. Well, what are you laughing about? That sounds like a nervous laugh to me.
Funny because it's true.
It is? Oh,
isn't it? I don't know.
Is it? I don't want all these numbers for the whole damn. Oh, I'd like to just see from to midday. I don't want to be selfish, but I don't want to waste 800 pages of fax paper for Christ's sakes. Jesus God!
All right, I pulled it out.
Put it back in.
Yeah! Ain't ready. What's up, y'all? This your boy T Mike. You see, I usually do songs with like hooks and concepts and shit, right? But that, man, I'm trying to go platinum. So I'm about to rock this shit. Check this out, y'all. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. Read a book, read a book, read a book. R-E-A-D-A-B-O-O-K. 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 Not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. Yeah, not a sports page, not a magazine, but a book. Book. That's what